And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, Conrad, can I get my drink?
Sure.
Okay. Talks amongst yourself.
All right. Hold, please. We got Tony Schiavone getting a drink, and boy, he's going to need it. Because today we're watching Slamboree 1996. And I know what you're thinking. Boy, I don't really remember that pay-per-view. Well, neither did Tony or almost anyone else. Because this is pre-nWo from 1996. Yeah. So this is the last pay-per-view where things are kind of normal. And then after that, boy, the world changes forever and in a big way, does it not?
Yeah, it did. And it changed for the better, obviously, because I thought at this time we were kind of struggling as a unit, as a company, even though Hogan was with us, right? I just thought that, well, we're still WCW. You can bring in Hulk Hogan. You can bring in Jesus. Doesn't matter. We're still going to be WCW. We're just going to fuck up everything we do.
I just want to give everybody a reminder. This is 1 week before Scott Hall struts ass down the stands.
There you go.
And this is the very last pre-nWo pay-per-view. Now the result, 6.3% thumbs up, Tony, 81.9% thumbs down.
Wow.
A nearly unanimous pandering of the show, and I'm ready for it. Of course, whenever we get ready to watch something, we usually have a little bit of a countdown. It's become a staple on what we do. So without further ado, fire up Slamboree Season 4, Episode 1 from 1996. And we're going to have some fun today. Tony, are you ready on your end?
I'm ready on my end. And apparently Steph Chesney's ready on his.
Let's do it.
You know it's all about you.
Tonight, the Battle Bowl. 16 teams of 2 battle against each other, pitting friend against friend, aligning friend and foe, ending with a battle royal to determine the Lord of the Ring. And 3 belts are on the line. Cruiserweight and U.S. Heavyweight. And for the WCW World Heavyweight Title, the champion, Giant, is challenged by Sting, still stunned by the choke slamming of his present partner, Lex Luger. Tonight, live from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it's Slamboree 96. It's Slamboree 1996, a capacity crowd, jam-packed. They've been waiting early this morning to get the last remaining tickets, and we're so glad to have you with us as we come to you from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and the Riverside Centroplex. Hi, everyone. Tony Schiavone, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, for Slamboree 1996. This year's Slamboree, gentlemen, and everyone out there, one man will emerge as Lord of the Ring. One man will get a shot at the World Heavyweight Title. We know all of that. What we don't know is how the Macho Man and Ric Flair will fare as tag team partners.
Well, you just put the handle on 2 guys that won't be there for the championship match. They're not going to get along as a team. They got them right back there now in separate rooms. There's a squad of police between the hallway. They got the dogs out and everything. They're keeping them apart. And you tell me they're going to work as a team?
That remains to be seen. The Steiner brothers, for the first time, will be on opposite teams. The Road Warriors will be on opposite teams. You'll see it for the first time tonight. And then later on, the Giant and Sting for the World Heavyweight Title. The last time we saw the Giant on Nitro, he choked slammed Luger right through a table.
He seems to be focused. I spoke with him before we went on the air. I really believe Sting has to remain focused, or he finds himself chokeslammed by the biggest man in the world, the Giant, right here tonight at Slamboree.
We are ready to go for action. Let's go to ring announcer Dave Penzer as we kick off the Lethal Lottery.
So here we go. Lethal Lottery, Battle Bowl, whatever you want to call it. We're doing it right now. Here we go. As we said, almost no one liked this show,
including the announcers.
Yeah. So to recap, the best match poll had Konnan and Jushin Liger with 98 votes. Sting and the Giant got 9 votes. The Battle Royal won the worst match poll, followed by the match we're going to be watching right now. So it's Hawk and Luger taking on Animal and Booker T.
Yeah.
I also didn't really care for Slater and Eaton against Duggan and Wall Street, or Taylor and Regal against Duggan and Wall Street. Duggan and Wall Street are going to win that every time. And then Ray and Bubba, they didn't like that or when they took on Norton and Ice Train. So everybody had a split opinion on what was bad, what was the worst match, but everyone agreed. 6% thumbs up, 81% thumbs down, and 11% thumbs in the middle. So it's interesting to go back and take a look. Boy, this is the end of WCW as we know it here.
Yeah, thank God, right?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like we're putting it out of its misery. And fun little trivia note for you, as they mentioned at the top of the show, they're in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They've got 7,791 fans at the Centralplex. 6,308 of those paid $104,760. It was called a sellout, but it wasn't really a sellout. But this is not even the most memorable show that happened on this day. Any chance you want to take a stab at what Vince McMahon and the WWF was doing that very same day?
Okay, so we're taking a look at what's the air date of this thing again?
May 19th.
Oh God, no, I have no idea. It obviously wasn't WrestleMania because that's earlier.
So this is the first non-pay-per-view house in the history of the WWF, the top 300 grand at the gate. It was the May 19th match at Madison Square Garden. But what everybody remembers is not the 18,800 fans there or the $319,000 gate. They remember the curtain call from Diesel and Razor saying goodbye.
Oh,
and of course they embraced as heels and baby faces. They embraced Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Shawn Michaels. And well, Hunter's career changed forever. And so did Steve Austin's.
So you're telling me that the fans at Madison Square Garden knew this was the last time they'd see Razor and Diesel. So when Razor shows
not all
up,
of them, but a lot of them.
All right. So when Razor shows up, it's really not a surprise for a lot of people, or Scott Hall shows up.
The smart fans knew that Diesel and Razor were leaving. Right. I mean, it was all over the torch and the newsletters and things like that. So if you were a hotline listener or if you subscribe to one of those newsletters, or maybe you were there at the infancy of the internet, you knew all that.
Yeah.
On paper, what we're watching here, Tony, doesn't seem bad. The idea of Road Warrior versus Road Warrior. And man, it's just Hall of Famers all around. Nick Patrick's our referee. Booker T's here with Lex Luger. I like the idea of Steiner brother versus Steiner brother, Road Warrior versus Road Warrior. Just ultimately, it's not going to be a huge success.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, battle royals suck.
Yes, they do.
And I know we have them in AEW. I get it, and you have to have them, and we've done our best to make them interesting, I think.
Sure.
The only battle royal that really has ever been worth its steam is the Royal Rumble, really.
Correct.
Through history, the way they've done that. I think we've had some great battle royals in AEW, but be that as it may, overall battle royals do suck. So basically, the story here is the winning teams move on to the battle royal, and then it's every man for himself, with the winner getting a world title shot. So that's the whole story behind this. I never did like the Lethal Lottery, although I'm glad we did not have a bunch of people in front of a bin pulling out names. I thought that slowed things down. And we've had Lethal Lotteries before because they fucked up Starrcade with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to go back even further here.
Okay.
In this show, the opening of this show, the graphic opening of this show, absolutely positively sucked. And this was a Sharon Sadello, Turner Home Entertainment. Sharon was working for us at this time, production, in that, I don't know if you noticed or not, but the little diamond in the middle had who's wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But the black and white on the outside showed no-name guys. One of them you could pick out very well, Buddy Lee Parker, from the power plant, taking bumps. And to me, when you use wrestlers as like unknown wrestlers, a part of market in the background, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. You
need to market your stars.
Yes.
Not market generic guys in the back. And I was looking on I was looking on Wikipedia before we started, and I was looking to see exactly what I could find out about this match. And one thing I found out about it, as I call it up here, is that you take a look at the graphic
mm-hmm.
that sold it.
Mm-hmm.
It had, I believe it had Sting lifting up Ric Flair. Okay. And they weren't even going to wrestle that night.
Nope.
And then they had, I don't know, they had a couple other guys, and what goes up must come down hard. That's not selling shit.
No, it's a terrible way to promote.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That is not, there's nothing about this that makes me go, oh, I want to see this. Nothing.
Right.
Sting and the Giant, maybe, right? Or Dean Malenko and Brad Armstrong, or, something that at least says what this show's about. But Jesus, that just shows you how fucked we were as a company. We didn't even know how to promote our own product. And that's a case of a TV company not knowing what to do with wrestling. They shouldn't have owned it. I've been on this horse before. They shouldn't have. They should have never owned it. They should have owned CNN and whatever else and left us fuck alone.
Well, I do want to mention, that the reality here, at least to me, is that the WWF is going to wind up doing that exact same thing. I mean, even in the most recent 15 years or so, since WCW's been under, they still have the opportunity to promote a poster and a theme that is not exactly, it's just not what we would do.
Yeah, right. And I'm not saying I have the answer for everything, but
I'm just saying, I think that the reason they do it is because the pay-per-view companies and the production requires it so far ahead of time.
So far, that's right. That's exactly right.
But also too, it tells us really honestly that the folks who are running WCW and at the time WWE were not capable of making a plan and sticking with it, because they like the idea of it being anything can happen and anything can be suspenseful. And, we like the surprise. Eric Bischoff talks all the time about Sarsa, and surprise is a big part of that you need a surprise in wrestling. And that when they did these independent studies of what wrestling fans wanted, they want surprises. So I get that. But at the same time, once upon a time, to your point, the WWF got this right. You knew who was on the WrestleMania poster. That wasn't a surprise.
Right.
Now, also too, back in that era, you're not doing a pay-per-view every single month. So I see how that would make it much more challenging. You're trying to tell stories in 30-day arcs versus 90-day arcs. And as a result, on a 90-day run, well, it's easy to get that poster right. But on a 30-day run, well, that's different because, you've had a lot of TVs that were live that weren't taped in advance. So who's hurt, who's available, blah, 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 that can all change.
Yeah. No, I get all that. And I understand, also, as far as events are concerned, you can sell Royal Rumble on a poster. You can sell WrestleMania on a poster. Hell, you can sell Double or Nothing now on a poster because the event means something. Slamboree didn't mean jack shit.
Yeah.
So the name Slamboree was not going to sell anything for us.
No.
I mean, this event started in 93. This was the fourth one. This started out as a Legends reunion.
Yes, I remember that.
Right. A thing that Dusty had created, which is not only going to be wrestling. It is going to be absolutely something for, look at this. The Road Warriors now, even though they're on opposite teams, pairing off against Luger.
Let's track it.
Yeah.
You can just tell the Road Warriors need each other to survive. They're used to watching each other's backs. They're used to fighting in the alleys and the streets and the gutters, and that's what they're doing here.
It's broken loose now, Tony. It's outside. We got all four men going out.
Double count out.
Luger, he's in reverse.
Yep, they're all going to be counted out. and Meltzer gave it a 1.25 stars. Maybe not the best. I want to mention Hawk actually is here with a broken foot. He broke it on April 29th in the Tokyo Dome. He came to the show here with an orthopedic shoe and couldn't work. So he never tagged in at all, which meant that we got Lex Luger working both sides of a tag match, which no disrespect to Lex, probably made it not the best match in the world. Tony, I don't know about you, but after a match like that, I'm hovering to find that pause button. Can you hit that pause button on your side?
Yes, I can hit the pause button on my side. And why don't
I'm going to hit mine right now at 12:55. And the reason I'm hitting the pause button right now, Tony, is because I'm excited to tell you that I slept for 8.5 hours last night.
Well, that is wonderful news.
And I managed to do it out of town. Of course, you and I were talking, and this morning I was in Tampa. But yes, I carried my chili sleep to Tampa with me. And I did it because I knew I was going to need a full day here today. So as soon as I hang up with you, I'm going to record with Jeff Jarrett. And then it's off to the office to, do my real job. And then I'll come home tonight and try to be dad and try to be a husband. And buddy, I'm cramming it all in I can. And I'm thankful I got chili sleep on my time because chili sleep being on my side, makes sure that I always feel sharp and alert when I start my day. Chili Sleep makes customizable climate controlled sleep solutions that help me improve my entire well-being. Chili Sleep makes the Ooler. That's what Tony and I have. They also have the Cube Sleep System. It's a hydro-powered mattress topper that goes over your existing mattress. So it's not like a mattress replacement. It's not a freaking water bed. We get questions about this all the time. It's just the thing that goes over your existing mattress, but there's a hose attached to it. And this little gimmick that you put on your table. And buddy, you can customize how cool do you want to be. Once upon a time, I used to crank down the AC in the house. I don't have to do that anymore now. My bed is the perfect temperature every single night. And it will be for you too. Whether you sleep hot or cold, this is the way to get that deep sleep. You see, Chili Sleep is designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, give you that confidence to power through your day. Imagine waking up and not feeling tired. Chili Sleep can make that happen. And right now, Tony, we've got a special deal for our listeners, don't we?
Head on over to chilisleep.com/WHW to learn more and save 30% off the purchase of any new Cube or Ooler sleep system. This offer is available exclusively for What Happened When listeners and only for a limited time. That's Chili, spelled CHILI, sleep.com/WHW to take advantage of our exclusive discount and wake up refreshed every day.
Can't recommend it enough. Grab your Chili Sleep and grab that mouse and let's hit play, Tony. I'm at 12:55. I'll do a countdown. Are you ready?
I am ready, sir.
All right, 12:55. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. We see Booker T with his breathe right strip talking a little trash on his way back. And coming up next, man, we got Public Enemy taking on Chris Benoit and Kevin Sullivan, which is kind of fun because, as you know, Chris Benoit and Kevin Sullivan are not getting along in front of the camera or behind the camera. And we're going to get to see them take on the Public Enemy here. And Meltzer thought it was a little sloppy, but overall not bad. And then we'll see Rick Steiner and the Booty Man, your boy, take on Sergeant Craig Pittman and Scott Steiner. So I can see already why people aren't exactly loving this pay-per-view because we started a pay-per-view with a lot of star power here with these four guys, Tony, but a non-finish. It's kind of
yeah. And of course, no one liked the Booty Man, even though you called him my favorite. Want to go back and talk about just a little bit here. Give me a time code. Make sure I'm right with you.
I'm seeing Battle Bowl first round. I'm at 13, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 14.
Got it. I'm right with you. And I hope everybody's right with us as well. And you could be a couple of seconds off. We were going back and we were talking about a Legends reunion that Dusty had come up with.
Yeah.
Which actually was a pretty cool thing in many ways because, I mean, Bruno Sammartino had come to one of these. We had seen, I can't even remember any aside Bruno Sammartino, but we had seen a lot of different legends come out. It was pretty cool. And if I recall, we even had a Legends match between Nick Bockwinkel and Dory Funk Jr.
There were actually a few different. The year prior, you even had Wahoo McDaniel in 1995. Right. So you certainly had some of those, but I think the one you're thinking about, like the first one, I believe, was 1993.
Right. It was 93.
And that's where we saw Dick Murdoch, Don Morocco, and Jimmy Snuka take on Wahoo McDaniel, Blackjack Mulligan, and Jim Brunzell.
Wow.
And then Thunderbolt Patterson would team up with Brad Armstrong to take on Ivan Koloff and Baron von Raschke.
Wow.
Dory Funk Jr. taking on Nick Bockwinkel.
That was a great match, as I recall. Everyone gave him a standing ovation because those two guys worked. I think they worked like a 10-minute Broadway or something like that.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They went all the way through.
Yeah.
15 minutes on that one.
15-minute Broadway. Okay.
Which is a big deal at any era, but especially in that era at that age.
Yeah.
When they brought it back the next year, there were no legends. They still called it a Legends reunion. And I think that maybe one of the things they did is honor a group of legends. So you had Ole Anderson there and Penny Banner and Red Bastien and Tully and Terry Funk and Vern and, you know, even greats like Ray Stevens and Lou Thez, they were all there, but they weren't wrestling. So I think maybe we just moved away from that idea a little bit. But even in 95, man, it's still like, hey, let's get Wahoo and Dick Murdoch out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. And of course, obviously, because I was, you know, old school, had watched those guys in the 70s and had really enjoyed them. And I like that. I guess on a mass marketing scale, it didn't work. I don't know why we abandoned it. I guess maybe Eric didn't like it. But I always thought it was kind of cool. And hey, you know what? I don't know if it worked or not, but to me, it's better than Lord of the Ring Battle Bowl bullshit. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Some of these ideas really, in my opinion, like the Legends thing, that feels like less of a pay-per-view. And I understand it, but it feels like less of a pay-per-view and more of a live event attraction.
Right.
But this Battle Bowl concept definitely feels like something that you would do on a house show.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know, bring out all the guys, let them draw numbers or tag partners or what have you. But like, to me, just from a promoting standpoint, if we're drawing day of, and I know that's not exactly what we've done here, because at the top of the program, you said, oh, we'll have Road Warrior versus Road Warrior and da-da-da-da-da. So you already knew that in quote unquote kayfabe, and you had shared it with the audience. So I'm sure it had been revealed. But my point is, I feel like you need a runway to promote a pay-per-view instead of saying anything can happen. Give us $30. That's not a great pitch.
Yeah.
As opposed to, man, you're going to see. And I think that was the reason they positioned this the way they did. The curiosity factor of, man, I've always wondered who would win with Hawk wrestling Animal. Well, if you really wondered, then you probably also knew, they're going to do a fuck finish on that.
Right. Hey, in this match, I thought it was interesting to see Benoit and Kevin Sullivan give each other a high five right before they started. And I don't know if you noticed this, but I
wonder if they ever did that in real life.
I don't know. As Benoit is walking towards the corner just a moment ago and facing the fans, they had a close-up of Sullivan. And Sullivan, I do believe, said, give them the four horsemen shit, saying that to Benoit. And Benoit immediately puts up the four fingers on both hands, which I thought was very cool. A very cool thing. Sully had, and probably still does, man, and one of the great minds in the business.
Look at you with your mind reader shit going today. I mean, your mouth reader shit today, your lip reader shit.
Yeah, my lip reader shit. We'll see. We'll see. Right now.
Did you figure that out just to stay in good graces with Lois? You'd have to. What's she saying? Let's see if I can guess what she's saying. Trying to avoid that heat like the Matrix.
No, not. Look at this. Sullivan throwing a fucking chair. Let's do it again.
A big plastic one.
Yeah, but still.
I don't want to get hit with one of those. Give me the metal chair flat across the back.
Yeah. Well, you should never throw a chair. One of the worst things you can do. John Moxley recently got hurt, not by us, but I think may have been New Japan, or it may have been Game Changer. Somebody threw it, or he threw a chair. Somebody threw a chair, hit the rope, came cartwheeling back towards him, and split up open his head. When you let go of a chair, all of a sudden you lose control. And unfortunately, people can get hurt, and even more unfortunately, fans can get hurt.
Right.
With a projectile going through the air. You know, we had the other night on Nitro, we had Satnam Singh made his debut, which I know, has been much talked about. But he had those crutches that he broke, and he just kind of threw them back, and one went into the stands. I'm thinking, oh, God. But no one was hit. And
I love that your butthole puckers and stuff like that.
it does, man. It does. It always did. I guess it comes from the days of working with what's Sullivan doing here? Protecting his partner? What are they doing?
It's like he's holding him in place. He wants it.
Oh yeah. That's what he did.
Look at Benoit. He's hurt. He is hurt bad.
Unbelievable. Sullivan moved out. Benoit is out.
My leg, Jimmy.
His leg. He's worried about his leg. So about his leg.
Well, I'll tell you, if Sullivan walks out on Benoit, he's going to have to answer later on to the other horsemen. You know that, Tony.
It's a pin. 1, 2, 3.
So the public enemy pick up a win over Chris Benoit after putting him through the table. Meltzer would say, later when it came time for Sullivan to save Benoit, he just walked away, pretending to have hurt his knee and leaving Benoit to get the public enemy sandwich through a table, and he was pinned by Rocco. I love this angle here, though.
Kevin Sullivan whacked his knee pretty hard on that ring step. Or was it the table? I'm not sure, but that thing's starting to puff up.
I love this. This is good stuff. You don't like it?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But now we've got the second Battle Bowl match which someone has walked on. That's the only thing, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
We're not getting, competitive matches here.
No, we're just getting
Stories, brother.
Stories, fuck finishes, whatever you want to call it.
Now, you're a big fan of fuck finishes, aren't you?
No.
I thought you sent me a link to something on X videos the other day and said, check this fuck finish out.
Yeah, let me send you this link. It's not to fuck finishes, but it's a link to go fuck yourself.
Oh, okay.
Okay, how about that one?
Let me look that up. Go fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. Is that a .com on that one, Tony?
No, it's a .org.
Org. All right, the Go Fuck Yourself organization. Let's see, pulling that up.
Little Hulk Hogan's.
It's down for me.
Hey, well,
Sergeant Craig Pittman. Boy, this feels like it's out of a time capsule. When I think of Craig Pittman, I think that, this guy could have got over maybe a little more in 91, 92, 93. I know he was around for a lot of that, but it feels like by this point, it's kind of over, right?
Yeah. No, you're right. Look at this.
Scott Steiner still rocking that Kentucky waterfall.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this to you, and I probably did, but I'll mention it again. That recently I was in South Carolina at a Comic-Con and got a chance to talk to Scott and Rick and spend some time with Rick for the first time in a long time. Just older versions of these guys, but still just as wacky as they used to be. And I talked about some of the pranks that they played in the back stage area without going into detail here. And Rick looked at me. Rick says, how did we get away with that stuff?
Who was going to stop you, buddy?
That's exactly what I told him. I said, who in the hell was going to stop you? He said, I don't know. He said, the thing of it is we get there like early in the day, right? And we'd be there for 5 hours. So we were bored. So we came up with this stuff to do. I said, wow, only the Steiners.
Look at this fucking gimmick, dude.
I'm not looking at the gimmick. I'm looking at.
And she's. Let me just say in a loud and clear voice right now. I know I do a podcast with him, but I don't even care. I just need everybody to know.
Yeah.
I fucking hate DDP.
Because she is like, she's a 10. She was a freaking 10.
What's that old, you like the old slapstick comedy. Wasn't there a scene where in Spinal Tap, they didn't turn it up to 10. They turned it up to 11.
To 11, right.
Well, Kimberly has turned it up to 11.
Yes, she has.
And fuck Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, my God. I do understand they're still good friends.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I met her years ago. Mm-hmm. And at that point, they had been divorced for years.
Right.
She was a guest of his and his wife at the time, Brenda, WrestleMania weekend. Mm-hmm. And it just tickled me that she even had a fun last name.
Yeah.
Bacon.
Yes. Yeah.
Come on.
Bacon. Come on, baby.
If you're going to be that good looking and a damn fitness model and your last name is Bacon, it's just like a guy's dream. Is it not?
It is.
It's just like, wait a minute, what now?
Like, I smell bacon cooking, baby.
I'm gonna try to convince Megan she needs to change her last name to Steak. See, this is what's going on here with WCW. You know, we're sort of half cocked. You got one Steiner brother in one corner, one Steiner brother in another corner, but we got the Booty Man and Sergeant Craig Pittman getting us started.
Mhm.
So I'm
In other
like, I'm 50% excited for this and 50% what the fuck.
Well, what you're kind of saying is the talent roster was not that deep to be able to put on something like this. You would have to get some of these guys
it's the
in
preliminary. And so here's my thing. And boy, I'm not saying we're armchair quarterbacks, but I guess we are.
Yeah, we are.
But the reality is this match, Tony, should have happened on a Saturday night. This should have been on a WCW Saturday night.
Yeah.
You tune in and see the preliminary matches there, and then you can advance some stories and have some real matches on the pay-per-view here. But instead, we get this, what feels like very preliminary match.
Yeah.
What do you think happened to Brutus Beefcake? I mean, I know about the parasailing accident and all that, but you go back and listen, I've had a lot of fun over the years in real life. Great guy, super nice. If you have an opportunity to have him to your event, you should, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But with all that said, it does feel like, man, over like Rover in like 1990, you could argue 89, but certainly 1990 and 91. And then everything just changes.
Yeah.
Is it just the parasailing accident or did wrestling change while he was out?
Well, I think it's a parasailing accident. I really do. I really do, because Brutus the Barber was a big deal. I do need, you know, we have Steph Chesney who does our open here.
Yeah.
Our countdown. Steph Chesney, who I know is listening, has a freaking man crush on Ed Leslie.
Now, is this a real thing?
Yeah, he's nuts over him.
So you're not saying this to be funny, haha.
No. And so Lois found deep in the linen closet here a beach towel with Brutus the Barber Beefcake on it. Now it's been used, so it was a little bit kind of faded. So she said, "What do you want to do with this?" I said, "I know exactly what to do." And I shipped it to Steph Chesney, because he always he'll send me a picture like when Wardlow faced the Butcher, you know, the other night on AEW. Steph Chesney says, "Wrong Butcher. It should have been this one," and sends me a screenshot of the Butcher when he was the Butcher, when he butchered Hulk Hogan's friendship.
I love having Steph do our theme song here. I think it's
it's great.
It's a tremendous countdown. It's fantastic. It is a great companion piece for what Matt Coon did years ago for our opening theme. However, if his favorite wrestler really is Ed Leslie, that'll be the last time we hear that goddamn thing here on this show.
Well, first of all, you got to realize that Steph is just a very, very talented musician and rock and roller, but he is out of his fucking mind.
So he's done a lot of drugs, you're saying?
Apparently so.
I see. Well, we got to forgive him then.
Okay. All right.
You know,
out of his freaking mind. And then he lives in Vegas, and I'm going to be there for a week, so who knows?
Oh, here we go. Let's track this.
You got to think about it.
Come on, lay some eggs.
Here we go.
There you go, baby.
Whoa. Now you know what's going through Rick's mind right now? Who is this guy?
Vince, brother, may want to record this one. This is the first time ever that we've seen it. Scott and Rick going at it, and the fans are anticipating a great one.
They're twins, you know.
No, would you stop?
They are. Scott's a twin.
Well, they got to lock up right there. Back to
This is kind of cool to see, is it not?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
By the way, in a real situation, it's just me and you talking. Nobody's listening. Who would you have bet on, Rick or Scott?
Rick.
Me too.
Yeah.
And by
Rick
the way,
Flair,
if Scott hears us say that, he may drive over here, put Sharpies up our ass or something. But
you never know about him because he's nuts. But Rick Flair used to always say, look at Rick Steiner and say, "You know, you're my hero, don't you?" And it's because Rick Steiner and it's one of the toughest. And Scott was tough too. I'm not saying that, but Rick, wow. That's why I said when I found out he was a member of the Cherokee School Board, I even asked him when I saw him, I said, do people that come to the school board meetings, parents, do they know not to say anything wrong to you, who they're fucking with. He said, nah, they don't even know who I am. I said, oh yeah, they do.
Some of them do.
Yeah, some of them do. Because I mean, if the dog face gremlin's on my school board,
we're doing what the fuck he says.
Exactly.
It's like that moment in that Tom Hanks movie where the pirate jumps on and he goes, I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
Like whatever they want to do, like,
yeah,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I know.
It's not can we, it's a matter of yes, sir.
Yeah.
No problem.
You got to give the Steiners credit here. They're giving the fans something they want to see here, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Yeah. And I understand that Hawk had a broken foot, so he really couldn't work, but it's good.
It's
Look at this, man.
From what we saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're having a real wrestling match here.
Yeah. Great shit, man. Scott lures him in, rolls him over.
Hey, so I know you're going to spend the better part of a week in Vegas here at the end of the month as AEW really sets up camp.
Yep.
But did you know that the Cauliflower Alley reunion is at a different hotel this year?
No, I did not.
It's at the Plaza and it's in September. And I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking or I'm thinking what you're thinking. But if you're thinking what I'm thinking and I'm thinking what you're thinking, I'm thinking we should go.
Well, I'm thinking we can't.
Why not?
Because isn't it usually on like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Oh yeah, I guess you can't do shit like that.
No, I can't. I don't know why they don't have it on a weekend. I never got that. I mean,
probably because they want it to be affordable for folks to come to.
Yeah, but it's Vegas. You can find something affordable in Vegas. Any.
I don't know, man. That place they used to have the convention,
the Gold Nugget, or the Gold Coast.
Yes, the Gold Coast.
Right.
Buddy, I went to book a room there once, and it was buy one night get 3 free. And when you come in, instead of seeing, all the touristy jaunts, oh, this is Emerald, come to Emerald's, blah, blah, blah. Come to Wolfgang Puck's, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
These motherfuckers were in. It smelled like a Subway.
Yeah.
Not like the train car, but they're baking that fake make-believe bread right there in the lobby next to TGI Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only place on the strip or just slightly off the strip where you could get a Subway sandwich or a fried goddamn green bean. I mean, that's what they're doing at TGI Fridays. What vegetable can we deep fry and put with a side of ranch? Because there's some motherfucker in Alabama named Cassio Kid who will eat it up.
That should be a shirt. I need a fried goddamn green bean.
That's what they do, buddy.
Well, anyway, I just think that they should. Okay, so Rick Steiner and the Booty Man win. I just think that that the Cauliflower Alley Club, which I'd really want to go to because I'm a lifetime member now. Hello, Kimberly. What was I talking about?
I don't remember. Here's what I remember. I fucking hate DDP. Fucking hate it so much. I just want to go. I'm a lifetime member, and I really can't because Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my busiest days of the week. I feel like you think I was making up the fried green bean thing.
No. I've had a fried green bean.
Like that's what they do as advertisers though, or something. And I remember
they do.
The first time, like, wait a minute, what the fuck is this? We're not supposed to be doing this. And I'm fat. Even I know we can't do this.
You ever had tempura vegetables?
Oh, they like flash fry the vegetables.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? That might be the only way if we get stupid ass Silva to eat one. Is if we fried it.
Hey, I recently had on our ad-free shows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, this is tremendous.
Oh, let's track it.
Look at this, Tony. He is really giving it to Jeeves. He's putting him in his place. For what reason? Well, he's a lord. He can do that. The royalty. But Tony, you're so right. This team is intact too. When you take a look at the team advancing in this.
How great is William Regal?
The best. One of my all-time favorites.
A national treasure, by God.
Yeah. You know who Jeeves is?
Isn't that Bill Dundee?
No, this is not Bill Dundee.
Bill Dundee played a different character at first.
Yeah, he played.
What was his name?
Oh gosh,
damn it. Let me look. I can't believe I don't remember this. I know this. Sir William, Squire William.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So the guy playing Jeeves is the guy who was Wildcat Willie.
I remember that. You told us that
Yeah.
here on the show.
Yeah. So anyway, what were we talking about before we tracked it? I can't remember now.
Stu, you went to some restaurant or restaurant, as you recall. We were talking about stupid ass fried green beans, and it made
they tempura is like fried pieces of sweet potato,
okay,
fried onions, fried broccoli. It's really good. I love tempura. Love it. There's Jeeves. Look at that.
Look at Regal riling up the fans. What a great character he is.
I know he put that one hand behind him.
Dave Taylor's going to be his tag team partner. By the way, Meltzer gave that Steiner match 2 1/4 stars. This one is going to get a dud.
Oh, really?
Unbelievably, VK Wall Street and Jim Duggan are about to beat Steve Regal and David Taylor.
Ooh, well, you can tell that Hogan's around, right?
Meltzer would say Duggan was over more than just about anyone on the show because Baton Rouge was his old stomping ground, literally going back 10 years. The sad part is it showed the only guys going over on the show were from 8 to 10 years ago. It shows you how effective the piss poor WCW announcers have been at creating stars. Tony Schiavone is almost as awful as Duggan is in this match. Dud. He didn't name drop you specifically.
I knew where you're going with that.
No, he did say though.
Yeah.
Which shows you how effective the WCW announcers have been at creating stars. But at the same time, I don't know. I just love that Meltzer sort of flip-flops every now and again on whose responsibility that is.
Oh, I know. He's looking for shit to write. I get it.
Here's what I like about you. Couldn't care less.
About what Meltzer says?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck him.
I'm just saying, meanwhile, you know, our great close personal friends, Bruce Pritchard and Eric Bischoff, will lose their fucking minds. And you're like, nah, I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
Spell my name right on the check. Tell me when to pick it up. Thank you.
Exactly, brother. Watch it. I like he puts it. Look, he puts that arm behind him. USA. You know, Regal, very young man here. You didn't realize it, but he was.
No, that's the thing. Regal is a little bit like JJ Dillon, where even when he was 25, he looked 45.
Right. Exactly.
He very much has a face of character.
I know. It's like he was talking to me about his age now. I think he's like 52 now. And I went, oh, I'm like 12 years older than him. Holy shit.
You thought he was older than you?
No, I thought he was closer to my age. Put it that way.
Right.
But I just love the Blackpool Combat Club. Really do. I mean, these guys made Wheeler Yuta in a match. And
yeah, they did. That was a big time opportunity for him.
Yeah, it was. And I like that. Of course, I love Bryan Danielson and John Moxley both. It's just to me, it just feels right having them together. I didn't see that one coming, but I should have seen it. I should have seen it coming when I did a backstage interview with Bryan Danielson, and he mentioned Regal's name.
Yeah,
I should have seen that coming, but I'm thinking, oh, he's talking about Regal, and who just got let go by that. I just didn't put them together. It's like, what the hell?
Tony's a little slow every now and again.
Oh yeah, every now and then,
just a little bit. Golly, I think Regal is one of those guys where, as a wrestling community, a lot of us are going back and we're watching stuff from Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton, and I think William Regal's in that same category where, when we had them, we didn't appreciate them maybe as much as we do now. We certainly appreciated that. Oh, it's a different style,
right?
But man, there is a sameness to a lot of what we wind up watching in wrestling. Even with what we see now, like it feels like a lot of these personas and matches and stories and characters and movesets, the WWE literally creates them and manufactures this in the exact same spot for a lot of folks. So there is a sameness. Boy, there was nothing familiar about Regal. When he came in, everything felt and looked different.
Right.
And I think that's why it stands out and still stands the test of time.
Oh, yeah.
So look at this silly shit. But boy, the crowd, they stood up for it. They were ready for it.
Of course, that's their guy.
It is.
That one guy in the ringside area, did you see him just stand up?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Tony, if I'm you, I'm starting to hover over that mouse and I'm going to hit pause.
You gotta always hover over a mouse, don't you?
Hover over a mouse at 433, 435. I'm at 40:35. And I'm going to hit pause right now to let everybody know that 2 out of 3 men will experience some form of hair loss by the time they're 35. And in fact, more than 50 million men here in the United States suffer from male pattern baldness. Well, let me tell you, our pals over at Keeps, they've got more 5-star reviews than any of their competitors. And Keeps offers the only 2, that's right, there's only 2 FDA-approved medications that can prevent hair loss. Keeps offers a simple, affordable, and stress-free way for you to keep your hair. They've got convenient virtual doctor consultations and medications that can be delivered to your door directly every 3 months, meaning you don't have to leave home. They've also got 24/7 care and support. Keeps has a network of medical advisors, prescribers, and care specialists to support you in making your hair goals a reality. It's also low cost too. Treatments start at just $10 a month. And Keeps offers generic versions of the 2 FDA-approved medications to prevent hair loss. Treatment plans are affordable, typically half the cost of pharmacy prices. Keeps has everything your hair needs straight to your door with discreet packaging and proven results. Remember, prevention is key. These treatments can take 4 to 6 months to see results, so act fast. And when it comes to your hair, save more and spend less. And Tony, we've got a special offer for our listeners right now, right?
If you're ready, like I've been, and like I have done with Keeps, to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/WHW to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's keeps.com/WHW to get your first month free. keeps.com/WHW.
And Tony, if you're like me, I say we get back to the program. As a reminder, I'm at 40 minutes and 35 seconds. That's 40 minutes and 35 seconds. I'll give us a countdown, and then we're going to get going because we've got Dick Slater and Bobby Eaton taking on Disco and Alex right here.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1, play. Of course, we still see William Regal trying to ask Dave Taylor, what in the world happened? Silly ass Duggan celebrating in the background. We're 4 matches down, man. And so far, these matches have been quarter star, star and 3/4, 2 1/4 stars. And now we just got a dud rating.
Yeah. They got, well, they've been quick too. And they haven't put any time into it because of how much they've got how many matches they got here. So
this next match is going to get negative quarter star.
Oh, really?
We're into the negatives now.
I was getting ready to say anytime Beautiful Bobby's in something, it's got to be pretty good, but apparently not.
Well, unfortunately, he's not the only one in it.
Yeah.
So Dick Slater and Bobby Eaton, I'm a big fan of. Disco Inferno and Alex Wright. I know what you think about Disco. What did you think about Alex Wright?
Well, first of all, I wasn't Jim Barnett, so I didn't foam at the mouth when I saw him. But I thought Alex had.
What does that mean?
Whatever you like for it to mean.
So Mr. Barnett needed shots. Why was he foaming at the mouth?
I wish he'd have gotten shots. Yeah. Did I tell you that Jim Barnett was dead?
Yeah. Here's what I'm not sure about. You've recently revealed or reminded us, I shouldn't say revealed, but you've reminded us just how much you fucking hated, and I mean hated, Jim Barnett. But
disliked him.
Okay, now we're talking about Disco Inferno too. Do you like anybody in this extravaganza here?
Liked Bobby Eaton.
Yeah.
Like Dick Slater. Like Colonel Robert Parker. Loved him.
Tell me something. You have any dirty Dick stories you can share with us?
No, I have none. See, now back to your question about Alex Wright. I thought Alex Wright had a very nice smile. He had dimples. He had a good look about him. And I thought he was a talented kid. I thought we could have done a lot with him. But I guess he had somewhat of a run. But listen, Disco Inferno, and here he comes. I mean, that's got idiot written all over it, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, he was given a goofy gimmick that he made work.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, we've got a, I'm not going to say he's a friend of ours, but we've got well, he's been with us for a long time. So he's been a big supporter, but he's a troll. We're talking about Adam DeMoy.
Oh, yeah. Big troll.
Yeah, big troll. And Adam always joins us on our,
Wait, did you say you're not going to call him a friend? Come on now. You can drop
Adam. Okay. Yeah, Adam's a friend. Okay.
Of course.
But he also ends up on Disco's podcast with Konnan. And he said, Disco and Konnan, he said, you always talk bad about Disco, but Disco and Konnan said they love you. I said, oh, I love Konnan. Konnan's always been one of my favorites. I said, but Disco can go fuck himself.
Wow.
He said, Disco said he would even send a limousine after you send a limousine out for you when you're in Vegas. And I said, no, I don't want his limousine. When I'm in Vegas, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work and I'm going to stay in my room and have room service. Not going to go out, not going to go in the casinos, not going to do anything. I'm just going to stay in my room.
Now, Tony, you told me you were going to get some stank on your hang low. I don't know what that means.
See, that's probably another lie. But
I'm glad you didn't commit that it was a total lie. You said probably.
No, I didn't say probably. I didn't say anything about that.
You said that's probably a lie.
No, I'm sorry. That is a lie.
Okay.
Okay. Wow.
So no stank?
No. What?
So you're on like a strict no stank diet.
I'm 64 years old, dude.
What does that mean?
Okay. I'm 64 years old, and I do a couple of things here. Okay.
What do you do?
Play with my dog here. See my dog right here if you're looking on video. Bug. Attaboy. Play with my dog. Sometimes play the drum set right here. Play video games.
You put your nuts on them drums yet?
And go to work. That's all I do.
And you get fussed at.
And coming very soon, the Tony Schiavone Twitch channel.
Yeah, because you got plenty of fucking free time.
I'm going to play video games because I got an Xbox and a PS5 now.
And do you prefer one over the other?
Yeah, I prefer PS5 because I've never had an Xbox. I just got an Xbox the other day. Shout out to Michael of Pro Wrestling Tees, who also hooked me up with a PS5. Yeah, because we've had every incarnation. We've had every edition of the PlayStation. 1, 2, 3, 4, now 5. My first Xbox. Anyway, so the Twitch coming pretty soon.
Man, I can't wait to never join that. That'll be so much fun to never join.
I love them racing games. So this is a -10 dud. Is this what are they? Are they talking about the match? Or are they talking about Disco -10 dud?
It's not -10. It's minus a quarter star.
Okay.
They got 256. It's going to be over when Slater hits Disco with his cowboy boot when Disco's dancing, and then he pins him.
Oh,
because Disco looked bad trying to work as a face.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Well, I'll tell you what, you better turn around. Oh, hello, Texas.
There you go. There you go, dumbass. Right. Turn
nothing to help you win a match. 1, 2, 3. And that's what happened right here.
I mean, the crowd could not give one fuck.
No. And of course, Disco would not turn to the hard cameras on that because he's a fucking idiot.
Boy, it does feel like Disco has gotten quite comfortable being critical of AEW and social media. And I guess he drew the ire of Kenny Omega. I saw Kenny Omega trying to dunk on him a few days ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. You know, if he would have, if Disco had some sort of business sense about him, he would probably be still in the business right now. If he had any type of, I don't know, any type of smarts about the business, he'd probably still be in it instead of,
well, now hang on,
being a shoe salesman in Vegas or whatever he is.
He's not a shoe salesman.
Okay.
He runs one of the biggest nightclubs in the whole country.
He runs the nightclub.
What do you think he's doing there? Jizz
mopping? I thought he was mopping up. I didn't know. I thought he was maybe sweeping up.
But again, why are you shitting on him and saying things like that? This time 5 years ago, you pull around to the first window. We'll have your total, please.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Nothing, but now
Okay.
you're ragging on him, saying, "Oh, if he had any business in the business, he'd still be in the." You weren't in the business,
But you, exactly, and I didn't comment, and I didn't. You didn't see me critiquing anybody in the
Okay.
business back at that time.
All right, that's fair.
Okay.
Give me wacky off now, because I will.
Oh, here's
Say the
look at
word. I'll
DD
spit in my hand for you.
look at DDP here, buddy.
Here we go. DDP and the Barbarian going to be taking on Ming and Hugh Morris.
Mm.
They're going to go 5 minutes and 15 seconds. And Meltzer would say better than you think. Particularly Ming versus Barbarian was pretty stiff. So we got to watch that.
Yeah. Man,
I
like the Barbarian here without the face paint.
I spent some time in Tampa this weekend.
Yeah, I saw a photograph of you on a boat.
And I found out that Ric Flair has a dog.
Okay.
I didn't imagine that would be the case, but he has a puppy that is in a penthouse apartment that has a little green pad on a balcony.
Yeah,
where he can go take care of business.
that's good.
And the dog runs the house, and the dog's name is Nate. It's unbelievable. You have to go see this thing.
No, I'll pass. But
Next time you're down there,
I'm not going.
You got
to
to see a dog take a shit 24 stories up in a wraparound balcony, just looking at the cruise ships come in as he pushes turds out. It's the fucking craziest thing I've ever seen. Until I had brunch or lunch or whatever you want to call it with Joe Gomez.
Really?
Joe
Now,
Gomez is
he-
one of the coolest motherfuckers that ever lived. And I've hung out with Joe 30 times, but it wasn't until this week that I can say I finally got his personality.
Yeah.
He wore a sequined hair beret, like to keep his hair out of his face in public, with flip-flops, a swimsuit, and a tank top. And he was my hero instantly. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say, casually one day as we're hanging out at the Marriott bar, like on the water, waiting on Rick's boat captain, he goes, "Hey man, you ever hear that story about Barbarian?" And I said, "With Tommy Young?" And he goes, "Oh God, you heard it." I'm like, "Heard it, buddy. We told the story on the show." He's like, "Wait a minute, you put that on the podcast?" Yeah. He's like, "Well, did you ever talk to them about it?" I said, "Dude, we had him on stage at our live show at StarCast. Barb basically confirmed the whole thing." He goes, "Dude, that's exactly what he told me. You're going to have to take care of it." I mean, so it's a legendary story and it's grown and grown, but buddy, everybody knows that story now.
Everybody who's been around back then knew about it. And of course we
Brought it to the masses.
brought it to the mass. I was going to say we exposed it, so to speak, but I'm concerned here about Rick's dog. Who takes care of Rick's dog?
Rick, and he has a like full-time assistant person.
Okay. Well, okay.
So that assistant like helps take the dog on walks and things like that. But apparently this dog gets on the boat with him. This dog goes down to his favorite little hangout with him.
Well, that's good.
I mean,
yeah,
I just never imagined that Ric Flair was really a dog person. I didn't know that part of his personality.
Well, I think if you, it's very easy to get attached to a dog, as you
and
know.
the dog's a cute little fucker. You would love him.
Sure. But I can imagine Ric Flair, hell, taking care of a dog. He has to have some help.
Yeah,
There's
he has
no
some
way.
help.
Yeah, good.
You know, he's traveling all the time. So,
Oh, yeah. So I was, I'm so glad that you went down there. I hope you had a good time.
it was great, man. And I'll tell you, we just got this new discount airline that I thought was probably bullshit. Have you ever even heard of Breeze Airways before?
No.
Well, Breeze Airways just came to Huntsville, and they've got a nonstop to Tampa, a nonstop to New Orleans, a nonstop to Charleston, and then in August they're adding a nonstop to Vegas.
Oh.
And so now I can fly from Huntsville to any of those places, no layovers, no connections. So I was like, well, shit, yeah, let's check it out. So we flew down on Friday, and then we flew back on Monday. It cost like whatever was in the couch cushion. I mean, it was literally
Any first class seats?
No, it's
All
what
coach.
it's like a half-assed Southwest.
Okay.
But like the Tampa and back's $200.
Yeah, there you go.
But nonstop. It's an hour and 10 minutes down, an hour and 17 minutes coming home. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this more often.
Good. That's good.
But one of those days, you got to come see this fucking dog, man. You love this dog.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to pass on that.
You don't want to get talked into having a good time or something like that.
No. Listen, I'm on the down slope of my life.
No, you're not.
Oh yeah, I am.
2 weeks ago, you were on this show saying how wonderful everything in your life
is. It is.
Best than ever, and it's the greatest thing. Blah blah blah. And now you're like, I'm dying. I just anything.
No. I realize my age, and I realize that. Look, I'm doing okay thanks to you and the podcast, thanks to AEW, and I'm building myself a nice little place here that I can just stay happy like I am and not have to. I'm just not good in public.
Not good in public.
I'm not good in public. Give you a perfect example. We've got Top Guy Weekend coming up.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm going to make an appearance and say hello to people and everything like that. But I feel uncomfortable doing it.
You're uncomfortable doing our low-key Big Hog get together?
Yeah, I am.
What does that mean? We're hanging out with people that we talk to every week.
Yeah, and I enjoy it, but there's a part of me that's uncomfortable with it.
So are we shutting down low-key Big Hog weekend?
No, we're not shutting down. It's going to be bigger and better than ever. And I'm going to make time for everybody, and I'm going to be the Tony Schiavone that they all love.
But in your head, you're going to be riddled with anxiety.
Exactly.
I got it. Well, you know what you can do? Keep that anxiety to your fucking self, because we don't fucking care. Put your lipstick on and let's go.
You would be such a great therapist. You know that?
Yep. Grab your purse, mama. We got shit to do. Star and a half here as DDP and Barbarian are going to move on. Next up, it's Scott Norton and Ice Train taking on Big Bubba and Stevie Ray. This too gets a negative quarter star. Let's just run through the match times so far. By the way, there was a dark match, and it shouldn't have been. The American males beat Shark and Max, the former Max Muscle, and they go 2 minutes and 37 seconds. After the match, Shark turned on Max and went after Jimmy Hart. So the Giant came down and chokeslammed the Shark, and that was a dud. The first match, though, with the Road Warriors went 654. Public Enemy went 444. The Steiner match went 821. The Duggan match went 346. The Disco match went 256. DDP's match here went 515. And the match that's coming to the ring right now is 3 minutes and 32 seconds.
Good God.
But as if that's not enough, and I even teased this last week, and you got a little excited. I mean, I think we might even say that you were a little turgid, because we're going to see Ric Flair team up with Randy Savage to take on Eddie Guerrero and Arn Anderson. And
wow.
when I first laid that out, you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
They get 4 minutes and 4 seconds.
Oh, God.
But after that, it's something good. Dean Malenko and Brad Armstrong going 8 minutes. That'll be a good match.
Okay. Well, you know what I have discovered?
What have you discovered?
That a lot of fast matches makes the time go by quickly.
Well, there's no doubt. This pay-per-view, though, the point I was trying to make is a 15-match card, bro.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. Pay-per-views now are 4 hours. This was 2 hours and 45 minutes stuff.
Yeah.
So pay-per-views. Yeah, I was thinking that they had teamed before. Yes, Fire and Ice. That was their name. Fire and Ice. So anyway, yeah. So what are we talking about?
We're talking about how you're uncomfortable. You're eat up with anxiety.
Yeah.
You want to stay home and play on Twitch and talk to strangers.
I feel more comfortable at home. I think that's why I've lived in this house for so long. There's a certain comfort level in it, and I don't want to leave that comfort level. I lived in the same house from the time I was born to the time I went to college, and then moved out on my own. But I don't know. Just one of the quirky things about my personality.
You got any good Scott Norton stories you can share with us? We know he was a badass, but can you give us anything?
No, I know his wife. I think her name is Tammy. She was around a lot with Scott, and she was a great person, great girl. But as far as Scott was a pro, man, I never had problems with him at all. He was kind of always serious, but he was always really a pro. And, I know he had a big part of that Collision in Korea story, which I thought was great. The way he talked about him there.
You're talking about Dark Side of the Ring?
On Dark Side of the Ring, yeah.
And everybody's all up in arms about the report that Vice hasn't signed a new thing on Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a secret. It's kind of out there that, The Rock and $7 Productions, if you will, they're doing something on the territories with those guys. And I believe they've been in touch with you. Is that right?
Yes. And I have declined.
Not going to talk about the territories with those guys.
No, I'm not going to talk to those guys at all.
No Dark Side for you.
Nope.
So even if they're not doing that sort of content, you just take a pass.
Will not do anything with those guys. Sorry.
Too much shrapnel in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just talk me through the thinking there. You just weigh it out on the Schiavone risk reward ratio matrix or what have you, and then you're
I'm thinking about how guys have helped them out doing interviews for their shows, and how guys have ended up getting in trouble because of it. And no, I'm not working with people like that.
Okay.
Not doing it. I like to feel I respect the business too much. I get away with, my foul language here, and I get it. It's all part of me, but I just like to think that I respect the business too much. So no, not me, dude. Pick on somebody else, but I'm sure it'll be good.
I don't know why, but it tickles me. I'm sure it'll be good.
I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure there'll be somebody they'll interview, and there'll be a part of the interview that they shouldn't air, but they'll air it anyway.
Boy, you've got some strong opinions here.
Yeah, I do. And I know they're buddies of yours, but not me, buddy.
Okay.
Okay. Meanwhile, Bubba can still work, can he?
Well, no, he's dead.
No, right. I mean, right now, right as this is.
Right now, Tony, May 2nd, he's 2022. He's dead.
And he just did the job in 3 minutes and 42 seconds, or whatever.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 32 seconds. By the way, up next is that Flair match that we all had circled.
Can't wait, buddy. 4 minutes for that. That means if everybody gets a shot, everybody's going to have a minute to work. Jesus. Yeah,
this lottery concept is it's a mess, man.
It's brutal.
It's not a win.
But again, I realize you got to try something, man.
No doubt. I give a lot of props and kudos for the company trying new things. And this feels like it would have been a Dusty creation. Not because it was a particularly good one, but because it feels like it has a sports feel.
Right.
And we know that Dusty liked that.
Yeah. When did, I think it was around this time that Dusty ceased becoming the booker and Kevin Sullivan took over, I think.
Yeah. It would have been here in 96.
Yeah.
I'm just saying originally, I think this Battle Bowl, blah, blah, blah. I think all of that was sort of a Dusty idea. Now here comes Eddie Guerrero, who at this point is arguably one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's put on a series of clinics in ECW with Dean Malenko. Oh, and here comes Arn Anderson,
our buddy.
Probably one of the most underrated in-ring performers of all time. Just one Hall of Famer after another here. They're going to be teaming up. Of course, the interest here is Arn and Flair will be standing across from one another. Big opportunity here for all involved. And I wish they had more time, because I think this group of guys, if given 20 minutes, could have had one hell of a match.
You know what? And why didn't we see that? I don't know. Why didn't we just like cut a match?
We had to get Duggan to wrestle twice, you see.
Okay.
Got to make sure VK Wall Street looks strong.
I mean, you could have thrown out the match we just saw.
You could have thrown out any of them, Tony. Literally any of them.
Any of them. I wouldn't have thrown out the Steiners because they gave us a little bit of something. Road Warrior Hawk, he's hurt. Throw that match out.
Agree.
So there have been two matches of like, there'd have been another, I don't know, 8 minutes. Give them 12 here. That's a little bit better. I wonder if the Riverside Centraplex is still there. You know, things go through changes, and that was a kind of a cool little building right down along the river in Baton Rouge.
These days, it's called the Raising Cane's River Center.
Ah, Raising Cane's.
Got that sponsorship money.
Mm-hmm, you're not kidding.
So it was originally built, looks like way back in the day, 77. But they renovated it in 93, 98, 03, 04, and 2011. So when you do theater style seating, they can seat 8,900.
Did I send you one of those foam hats? Because I had one in the attic. I think I'd send it to you.
You did, yes, sir. And I think we gave it away as a social media giveaway.
Yeah. Dave
Silva was so excited to get it. Wore it in my office. I told him he looked like a fucking goof. You know, when he comes around the office wearing that foam hat, I'm like, Dave, you know you're 50, right?
Yeah, he doesn't. He's a goof.
Yeah.
Here comes, look at Rick.
Wide open.
Oh, it was set up. It was a plan. Horseman style, Rick style, Flair style. You can tell that. That's it.
So, of course, Flair is supposed to be teaming with Randy Savage. He just runs in and starts putting the boots to Randy Savage. Fuck all that.
Boy, Eddie could throw a punch too, couldn't he?
I love him, dude.
Man.
So good.
Just absolutely awesome.
Like, man, this is just classic stuff. I could watch Eddie and Rick wrestle over and over and over.
Right.
Great shit.
Have we done Eddie and Flair from
yeah, they had one pay-per-view match.
Yeah, the Sturgis one.
Oh, look at the ladies tiptoeing up here.
And she is all that. Smart.
So Woman and Miss Elizabeth easing on out. Meltzer would say Flair and Anderson worked together much of the way, beating on Savage. Guerrero saved Savage from Flair, and Flair and Guerrero started working together, which got great heat. As Guerrero took over on Flair, Savage recovered and attacked Flair. Anderson then DDT'd his own partner and posted Savage, and Flair pinned Guerrero. Flair and Anderson held Savage, and Elizabeth slapped him in the face. Anderson then DDT'd Savage on the floor, and Flair stomped on him. 3 1/4 stars. So listen, they don't get a lot of time, but buddy, they're accomplishing a lot, and this has been nonstop action. They're just wide open right here, dude.
Yeah, that shows you again, guys who know what they're doing and make it work in whatever time frame they got.
No doubt.
Flair was good at that. Flair was, again, he knew how to call a match, he knew how to structure a match, and he knew that there wasn't much going on. I've said this before about him. He knew there wasn't much going on prior to their match, so they were going to really kick it up. And they did. And you're right. It's for what it was very good. Look at this.
Where's Savage for you all time? Top 10?
Oh, yeah. For many reasons. Reason number one for me was back when I worked in the WWE, guys would come in to TV, they'd get dressed on their own time, and Savage was always there first and always ready in the gimmick to do his promo. He was such a pro about that. Such a pro. You know, a lot of times it's hard getting guys and girls ready.
Sure.
Got a pre-tape or something. It is very difficult. It was never difficult to get Randy Savage ready. He was always ready. So that's why I really, really liked him. And again, I go back and I think about Savage. I think about Lee Marshall. Oh, who else we think about who's no longer with us? Just the guys that are no longer with us that I wish. Roddy Piper's another one that I really wish. Eddie Guerrero. I really wish I would have stayed in contact with during the years that I was not in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Staying out, I made a mistake there. I really did. I had friends, right? And I just, believe you me, I'm not going to do it now when I'm out of the
Let that be a
business.
lesson to everybody listening. Learn from Tony's mistake here. Reach out to those folks who you spent some time with, and maybe life took you different paths.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, Tony, what you're saying is pretty valuable because we've all got what I would call work friends.
Right.
So maybe you only hang out with these folks when you're at work. Maybe they're not over at your house or y'all don't do holidays or whatever, but it doesn't mean they're not a big part of your life, especially in this era where you're having to travel with these guys. But even if you have a more pedestrian life like I do, you wind up spending 8 hours a day with these folks. And a lot of times that's more than the time that we spend with our actual families.
Exactly.
But then when life sort of takes us in different spots and different directions and different paths,
Mm-hmm.
they're just gone and done forever. Let's learn from Tony's mistake and reach out to those folks.
Very well said, Conrad. You can't get that time back. And fortunately I've been able to stay in touch with Arn, even before we started working in AEW together. I don't know where our paths are going to take us way down the road. Cause I don't know how much time I've got left as far as my working life is left. God, but I'm going to try as best I can down the road to stay in touch with Cody because he's a friend. I've got a lot of friends in AEW I plan to stay in touch with when I'm all said and done or when I'm out of the business. But yeah, man, I agree. And Lee Marshall was another one. Roddy Piper. Just a phone call, right? Hey, how you doing? And it's easy now because everybody's got a cell phone. So it's not like they have to run into the kitchen and pick up the phone wherever they are. So, and when you and all your podcasts are done with my fat ass, then I'll still want to call you now and then.
We're not done with you. We're gonna run this until you're. My goal is for us to be mid broadcast when you finally kick the bucket.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. I've always wanted to. People say, "How do you want to go?" I wouldn't mind either doing a podcast or doing television and go. And then
hang on now. I don't really mean that. I don't want you to die on the program. I was just kidding, saying we're going to do this till the wheels fall off, baby.
No, but don't you think it'd be cool that if we're doing a Dynamite?
It would not be cool if you died on TV, Tony. No.
Oh, it would be a great story.
Might be a strong quarter hour for Tony.
It'd be the way I want to go. I think it would be.
Please don't talk like that. Come on.
Okay. No, I really think, the old adage is, how do you want to go? I want to go in the arms of a beautiful woman.
That's lame.
Okay, that's lame too. But
let me go in my sleep, bud.
Okay.
Just come get me in my sleep. That'd be good.
All right. I just think, welcome to, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. Time for AEW Dynamite. I'm JR along with Excalibur and Tony Schiavone. Tony, Jim, we are here. Boom. They'd have to wheel me off and keep the show going.
Yeah, they did when Jerry Lawler died on TV. I'm sure you at least heard about that.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Right. Yeah. They're not going to stop down the show. Everybody is standing here.
What do you think Tony's saying here?
Okay, well, let's see. Let's check a look at this format. Who the fuck writ this shit? Did I just say writ? Okay, I got too much Dusty in me. Brain, I'm going to ask you first of all. How many fingers do I have up, Brain? Okay, you don't know, do you? Okay, Brain, smell my hand, would you? I'm going to put it up. Don't look. He's looking at his watch. He's looking at his watch. What a fucking idiot. And listen, I'm doing all the talking that's on camera. Dusty, go ahead and talk. Well, here's the problem. Brain, the thing is, you're sober doing this pay-per-view. And you usually are not sober doing pay-per-views. So I got to do a lot of the talking, and you're going to have to do some talking for a change. Well, listen, don't you tell me about being, you drink too. Yes, I do drink. Yeah, but you do drink too. Yeah, so I have some whiskey. Yeah, well, I have some vodka now and then. You have some vodka with me, Shivani. No, I eat gummies, thanks to Conrad Thompson. And we're going to be going to the ring, but first of all, one of us here has to take a shit.
Who do you think would have been first to the bathroom when the taping was concluded? You, Dusty, or Bobby?
Oh, it probably would have been Dusty.
What did Dusty drink when you guys were on air? Not alcohol. I know he didn't drink on air. That was Bobby's deal. Let's track this audio for the next pay-per-view.
The family outing. Mom, Dad, the kids, and meat on the grill.
This ain't no picnic.
It's WCW's Great American Bash. Forget the Backyard Olympics. We've got our own. It's a WCW Father's Day you'll never forget. The Great American Bash. Live and only on pay-per-view. To order, call your cable operator now.
That poster, by the way, is one of the coolest posters ever. Do you remember that poster? It had Mean Gene wearing the chef's hat in the backyard with the hamburger meat fashioned to look like WCW.
Yes, I do remember that. Speaking of Mean Gene.
Let's
also,
here. Wait, are those Hooters girls?
They may be.
Joined right now by some young ladies from Hooters, one of my favorite establishments. I'm talking about Angela, Melissa, and believe me, I'm looking at your name tag, sweetheart. It's Kim. Now, girls, you have right here the envelopes for the second round. All of that competition in the first round leads us to round number 2, which eventually will lead us to Battle Bowl. If you kind of shuffle these up for us.
We have a Hooters segment right here, dude.
Yeah.
That, as I understand it, will receive a bye in the first round. That is a result of a disqualification in the tag match involving Liger, the Road Warriors, and that particular group. Okay, this will be the team, ladies and gentlemen. Pick one. That's one. Thank you very much. That will receive a bye in the first round. And that team is...
God, he was so good.
Fire and Ice. Scott Norton and Ice Train receive a bye. They're going to go directly to Battle Bowl. Thank you very much. Now, also in second round competition, let's go to team number 1. All right. Here's one of the two teams. Dirty Dick Slater and Robert the Earl of Eaton. Okay, they have made it to the second round by victory in first round competition. And let's get their opponents. Can you give me a hand with this, Angela? Thank you very much. My glasses are fogging up. That's just reading this. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and DK Wall Street. So there we go. Fire and Ice receiving a bye in the first round. And we've got plenty of tag team action. But right now, let's get back to a couple of, three very envious gentlemen. The American Dream, the Brain, and you, Tony Schiavone. Thank you, girls.
Boy, that was
lame.
Yeah. The ad was actually decent. Meltzer was critical of it. He says they had a brief clip of Hogan, which is highly misleading since he's not on the card. Mm-hmm. Either way, though, the Great American Bash little promo there, man, that poster. If you got one of those Mean Gene posters in mint condition, my DMs are open. I need to get that. I think that'd be fun to hang up in the studio.
One thing I did notice on that little commercial or promo or vignette, whatever you want to call it, the young girl who was in that family, that was Eric's daughter.
Oh, really? That was Montana Bischoff?
That was Montana in that. Yep.
Well, how about that?
I recognized her immediately, and I haven't seen Montana since she was that age, so I know she's grown.
I think it's out there. You know, she worked on Cody's reality show.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. She works in the TV industry.
Isn't it amazing? Everything's wrestling. What a small world it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm with you.
Hey, so I wanted to mention, you heard in that same audio there. Yeah. Forget the backyard Olympics. We've got our own. Right. This is 1996. So Kurt Angle, the next month, is going to win a freaking gold medal right there in Atlanta.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And we're going to move our operation to Disney the entire month because we were at Ground Zero at the CNN Center and they were going to close everything off. So we couldn't get to the offices. And Eric got us some bungalows in the back. It was great. What a great time that was. What a great summer that was for us. And not necessarily the wrestling, but yeah, I know the wrestling, but just a great time. It was wonderful. Here is Dean Malenko.
Taking on Brad Armstrong.
Yeah.
What an unbelievable couple of wrestlers here.
Oh, yeah, man. Absolutely. Just, you know, we had a Dean in a StarCast, and I did
tremendous storyteller, buddy.
Oh, wow. And it's again, it goes back to an old story that I've told before, but if you haven't heard it, it's worth telling again. Dean was always and still is one of the funniest guys I've ever met. He's just absolutely hilarious. And he was so unlike his in-ring persona or his wrestling persona, who was the Iceman, the man of 1,000 holes. He was just a funny guy and just a great sense of humor. And another guy I'm just glad I'm working with. By the way, you know, last week we did the invasion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I screenshotted Billy Gunn.
Oh yeah, what did he think? What did he
say? I talked to him about it just this past week, and he said, "Yeah." He said when they said we're going to do that, he said the first thing I thought of was taking a couple of branches, putting in a helmet. He said that's the first thing I thought of. I said, "Man, it was great fucking TV. You guys were so cool." Yeah, I like Billy Gunn a lot. Good man. See, and I would have never worked with Billy Gunn had it not been for AEW, right? He was on one side, I was on the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Would never work with him. Probably wouldn't have worked with Jerry Lynn. Noah wouldn't have worked with CM Punk. Wow, look at that. Throwing that leg up against the ring post with vengeance. Oh, by the way, speaking of vengeance, do you see the new Batman movie?
I haven't yet. I have it in my plan to watch though, but I'll be honest, I've sat down to watch it twice, but
yeah,
you know, time has had a premium in my life these days. So I've got a lot of stuff scheduled out. And so I would see the runtime is 3 hours and think,
right,
I can't give it 3 undivided hours right now.
You're right. You can't.
So I'll get there, but
right.
I don't want to like have it sort of playing in the background because Batman is my absolute favorite of all the superheroes. And I know we've talked a lot about, you know, I don't watch Marvel movies and blah, blah, blah. And you've given me shit about it, as you should.
Yeah.
But Batman's the exception. I go out of my way for Batman, but I want to be able to watch it.
Well, I saw it in the theater with Eddie Kingston, Jeff Jones, and
you saw it again though, didn't you?
I saw it again. I saw it again at home, and well, actually, I saw it again on my iPad while I was at the hotel room last Tuesday. And second time through, I really liked it. First time I was like, it was probably the 4DX theater bullshit that I was in. Really liked it the second time, so it's good. It's a good movie. I was saying it's an okay movie, but now I think it's a really, really good movie. So yeah, but you got to commit the time to it, and you're right. It's way too long. Dean Malenko giving a clinic here on how to work on the mat.
Yeah, man, this is a different style match than what we would see these days, but a great one. They go 8 minutes and 29 seconds. Meltzer gave it 2.5 stars.
Wow, two and a half.
Now after this, we get round 2. So we're going to get Slater and Eaton out there with Duggan and Wall Street.
2.5 stars. What the hell?
I don't know what he expected.
Well, there was nobody from Japan wrestling.
Will you stop?
Well, there wasn't. And also, there's nobody doing tope suicidas yet. Isn't it amazing, because of Excalibur, what's become part of the lexicon?
Yeah.
Tope suicida.
That's all your boy. Tope suicida is a thing because of your boy.
Yeah. What else has he said? Oh, Enziguri and a Gamangiri. And what else have I learned with him? Cazadore.
I feel like you're naming dishes at a Mexican restaurant now.
The exploder. The sliced bread. Oh,
number
gosh.
2. Sliced bread number 2.
Sliced bread number 2.
That's the one. You don't want sliced bread, the first one. You want number 2.
Number 2. Spanish fly. Just some good stuff. I like the names of those moves.
I just saw a link to a Great American Bash VHS that's factory sealed from 1986.
Whoa.
So it's never been opened. It's a VHS from 1986. And it's on eBay for $3,500.
Miguel Alonso there, and Pedro Morales. Pedro Morales in the purple shirt.
You were struggling, but you made it happen.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to say Petey. That's what we always called him, Petey.
You called Pedro Petey?
Everybody did, yeah.
Wow.
Miguel Alonso, former Spanish voice of the LA Dodgers. He and I talk baseball a lot. I know Pedro's not with us anymore, but I don't know about Miguel. Anyway, so what were you talking about? Oh, the VHS 86.
I couldn't believe it. $3,500, dude. I mean, it's not going to sell. Nobody's going to buy it.
No, it's not going to sell because no one's got a VHS machine anymore, do they?
Well, I think it's just the collectability. Like, if you send off like one of those old video games,
right?
Like if you sent off Duck Hunt and it was unopened and you got it rated and graded and slabbed or whatever,
right?
You know, it's worth a bunch of money, I guess. I'm not in that world really, but I just know that that's a new thing, you know?
Yeah, but you know what? In today's world, that they say that that VHS copy is still in the wrapper.
Mm-hmm.
You could forge that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You could forge that wrapper. Yeah. I'm always looking out, as you know, thinking someone's going to try to take advantage of me.
Yeah, you're very paranoid.
I guess paranoid is the right word.
You're waiting on somebody to fuck you around.
That's exactly right. And that's why, you know, we talked earlier about me being a part of this territory thing. I said, no.
I did get a call from a friend of ours. I won't say who, and they were going to do that interview. And they said, hey man, any advice? And that's where we are, that guys call and ask for advice because they don't want to get jammed up. So I can't say that I'm totally surprised you made the decision you did. And I think that's honestly one of the reasons that Darkside as a concept probably needed to change, because it was going to be tough to get guests, I think.
Yes, it was.
But, you know, talking about territories and being happy, happy, joy, joy, maybe that's different.
Yeah. No, still the same group. Look at this move here.
Now,
this got to be good.
What would you call that? A gut buster off the top?
Yes, you would. Excalibur, good job. And it won it.
As it should. You know, these days that wouldn't have did it. It would have been a fucking school board.
Yeah, no, he'd kicked out in the school board.
But that was badass. Everything about them is just believable. Not just Malenko, but Armstrong as well. It just comes off as very, very credible and believable.
Right. It's one of the things that made the cruiserweight division what it was, Conrad.
as we said, next up, we got Slater and Eaton taking on Duggan and Wall Street. They're going to go 4 minutes and 8 seconds. But Tony, right now, I don't know if you're like me and you're hovering over that mouse, but I'm hovering at 127, 38, 39, 40. I'm hitting pause right there because I want to remind everybody about GoliathLife.com. If you don't already, let me recommend that you get life insurance. Now, let me explain why I think you need life insurance. Well, it's a guarantee. You see, we're all riding around with car insurance to take care of our cars. We're making sure we've got health insurance in case we get sick. And we've even got homeowners insurance in case something happens to our house. But what if something happens to you? I'm not talking about we're going into the hospital, but man, it's the end. If that unfortunate demise happens to you, and by the way, it will to all of us, you want to leave behind peace of mind of knowing your family's okay. That's what GoliathLife.com is about to me, that peace of mind of knowing that everything's going to be okay. Goliath Life is different from, well, just about anywhere else you could go get insurance quotes, because they're going to get you 20 quotes at one time. So you're going to type in all of your information. You're going to get 20 different quotes. Pick the terms that you like. You pick the coverage, you pick the payment, you pick it all. They'll even come to you. It's GoliathLife.com. But if you don't have life insurance, you need it. And Tony and I recommend GoliathLife.com. Tony, here we go. 127.40. I'm going to hit us going here, and we'll see Dean Malenko mugging for the camera, probably about to yell at the camera with his belt in hand at 127.40 in 3, 2, 1, play. So next up, back to the title tournament, but for Cruiserweight title bout, and I don't know that I would have imagined that Brad Armstrong would get a pay-per-view shot.
Yeah,
I'm glad because it was good. And this is a Glacier promo. Here we go. What do you think of that in hindsight?
I thought it was a pretty cool promo.
I mean, it looks fun.
Yeah, it does. And here,
man.
Lordy.
He's out there with Hooters girls again. And I think now we're going to have a promo.
I'm Kim.
Oh, you're Kim. You're Angela.
Melissa.
You're Melissa, and you're
Angela.
okay. Let's get on with the drawing. Here we go. Round number 2. And we've got the final 4 envelopes. These 4 teams will compete to see which 2 out of the 4 will make it to Battle Bowl. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, Public Enemy. Public Enemy will be involved in one of the matches in round number 2. Here we go, Wes. I want them to have their hands free. All right. Public Enemy's opponents will be the Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Ric Flair. However, at the risk of sounding negative, ladies and gentlemen, after what we saw earlier on, I don't know. There's going to be a lot left of the Macho Man, Randy.
This is just not formatted well, Tony.
Nope.
I'm struggling to figure out why we did it this way, and we didn't just have a graphic on screen that could say, as we're going through, how the tournament shook out. Instead, just coming back here and having Mean Gene open a series of envelopes feels a little odd.
Again, they could have put that time back into the matches, right?
Yeah.
They could have.
Oh, my goodness.
Then they had Gene open it.
A Booty Man and Rick Steiner, that complete.
Think about this, man. Those ladies right there, they're all 50 now.
I thought about that too.
I mean, this 26 years ago, and let's just assume they're 24. Well, they're 50 now.
Wow.
Ain't they crazy?
Wow. And Gene's another one I should have been in touch with.
Well, no, you personally, I mean, you hated Mean Gene, right?
No, I love Mean Gene.
Okay.
I when I'm telling you this, and this is a quote unquote shoot.
Okay.
Every time I stand in the ring live to do a live interview,
you think of him?
AW, I think of him. I do. I think about how he was the best ever at that. There was nobody like him. And someone even said, "You're the Mean Gene of our generation." I went, "Don't even use my name and his name in the same breath."
Wow.
I'm so far so far down the pecking order from him, he was the best, man.
Well, who is the mean gene of our generation if it's not you?
I don't think there is a mean gene of our generation. I don't think there's, I just, no. I am just the interviewer, but I'm not the mean gene.
Okay.
So second round of Battlebowl, hey, should be as good as the first, right, Conrad?
Oh God. Listen to you going full blown, and I love it. Yeah, this one here, well, Meltzer called it the worst match in the show. And at this point, that's saying something. It gets a -1 star.
Ooh.
They're going to go 4 minutes and 8 seconds. And up next, it's supposed to be Public Enemy taking on Flair and Savage, but Flair and Savage are not exactly getting along. This VK Wall Street thing, man, this is like dollar store $1 million man stuff.
Isn't it?
It's really bad.
Yeah, it's the
and he's a nice guy.
Yeah, man, and his sons have become big time performers.
Both did well, but one, I mean,
yeah, right,
really blew it up.
Yeah,
with a pretty crazy, wacky out there, and nobody really knows what's coming next for him.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy to think about, that people aren't sure what's next for him?
Isn't yeah, I've heard that he's going back. I guess that's the last thing I heard, that he's going back there. I don't know.
He should.
Sure, he should. I didn't realize that Wyatt had, or I'm sorry, Wyatt, that Wyndham, his young son Wyndham, had been with us on the road. This Rick Steiner was talking about, as a little kid wanting to take bumps in the ring with him.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it is crazy. Just,
of course, you had no time for those kids. Get out of here, fuckers.
I had kids of my own.
No, but you were shooing them away from your door. We even caught it on camera at Halloween Havoc.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. That was really my door. And my wife was really baking in the back. First of all, Lois ain't gonna bake shit.
Lois baked something.
Yeah, she baked. Yeah, you're right. She baked cookies for Easter for the grandkids. She did. So you're right.
And the kids used to love to gather around and eat those big old donkey dicks, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
That's really one of Lois's specialties, right? The donkey dick.
Yeah, well, it was one of her more famous ones.
If I was to poll the kids, what's the best thing your mom makes? Let's say I asked your only baby girl, what's the best thing your mom makes? What would she say?
Donkey dicks.
Okay. What about Tim?
They'd all say donkey dicks.
Really?
Yeah.
They love Lois's world famous donkey dicks.
Yeah. Because the only thing she did was boil water and put a sausage in there. That's all she did.
She boiled water.
Boiled water.
But they think she boiled water better than anybody.
Exactly.
I got you.
No one boiled water like Mom. Yes, sir. That's exactly what she thought.
No one boiled water like Mom. It's such a great sentence, Tony. Thank you for blessing us with it.
Okay.
God damn.
Well, it's true. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm shooting you straight here, buddy.
Well, listen, I'll be honest. I thought I teed up. What did she make the best? I thought you were going to say reservations.
Okay.
But nobody boiled water like Mom did. That beats it on every level.
She was good at calling dominoes, I can tell you that.
What's her go-to at Domino's? I feel like she's got one.
Well, back then it was like a cheese and a pepperoni.
Oh, for the kids.
For the kids, yeah. She's not much of a pizza person, so we very rarely have pizza around here. But yeah, listen, and I get it. When you have 5 kids and they're young kids, 5 of them, and it's been crazy, and they got to do the homework, and you got to try to get them take a bath and all that stuff. It's easy to call 1-800-Dominoes. Or
You called them toll free? You had a special line? 1-800-Dominoes.
Or Papa John's or whoever was back then. Domino's, I think back then it was Domino's and Pizza Hut back then. Those were the ones.
What were you, more of a Domino's or Pizza Hut guy?
We were more of a Domino's people, and now we don't touch it.
Because you're too good for it, right?
Well, we're pizza snobs now. If we're going to get pizza, we're going to go to a local pizza establishment.
Can't hide money.
Yeah, you can. I've been damn good at it. Woo! You got to hide money.
Oh, impart some wisdom on us here as the match is finally over. The worst match on the show. And look at Duggan giving the business to VK Wall Street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they kind of got into it a little bit at the beginning, and now and the fans love Duggan, buddy.
Yeah, they actually responded for it.
Yeah.
We have so much wrestling action that cameramen are running everywhere.
And here comes that 300-pound termite with that board. He's dangerous.
So coming up next, it's a Public Enemy. As we said, they're supposed to be taking on Flair and Savage, but things don't go exactly as planned. And I imagine there'll be some sort of situation here we need to track. After that, it's Page and Barbarian taking on Booty Man and Rick Steiner.
Wow, man. I'm sure there's going to be a little sequence in there with Page and Kimberly, I would think. Hey, by the way, we were speaking about baking.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lindsay Lopez. I don't know if you remember Lindsay or not, but we were in Baltimore with Jeff's show.
Brings those cookies on the reg, man.
Right. And cupcakes. And so we'll be in Baltimore this week, and she'll be sending out some cupcakes to us. Lindsay's a good person, good baker, bakes on the weekends, and sells her wares.
Over Taskmaster and Chris Benoit. That's an issue that's not yet solved between the Taskmaster and Chris Benoit. Obviously, Chris Benoit is certified a partner there.
Yeah. Let's talk about the game plan for the Four Horsemen. Talking about Saab and Resolve. One Macho Man Randy Savage.
All right.
Nice shirt.
Good to have you with us wherever you are, watching all over the world. We'd like to welcome all of our great fans and welcome back Charles Jackson Crockett as well, one of our cameramen who had to run away from that action because it got hot and heavy.
I'll tell you what, once again, I don't see the Macho Man Randy Savage, and what a beating he took in the first round. This whole arena standing up, trying to get a peek, trying to take a look. Music being played, no Macho Man.
Well, we don't expect him back. I mean, we talked about it.
I expect him back. He's too dumb to quit. I expect him back. I don't know where, when, or how, but he'll be back. He doesn't know when he's had enough. What is going on? See, something's happened back there, and we should know about it. We should have a camera back there.
I don't expect the Macho Man to make it back.
Okay.
Now for the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Basically, the same thing happened in the first round where we had Flair's music and there was no Ric Flair.
Yeah, I don't see no Ric Flair now.
Here he comes. Will Macho Man Randy Savage be able to continue or not? The ladies are out and they got a handful of green, guys.
Hold my headset for a minute. I got to make sure my friend and roll 15 fine.
You stay right. That's Macho Man's money. They have slapped him, they stomped him, they done everything they can to make him that. And doing this because the Macho Man cannot continue.
Where he is, I sure want to see him come. You gotta be.
Here he comes!
Oh my goodness.
He almost hit Roman. Elizabeth's running.
They're
We've got
stirring.
security officers holding him back.
They
and
won't
he's
hold
fighting
him
off
back.
everybody.
They won't hold him back. I'll tell you that right now.
This is the most exciting thing that's happened on the show so far.
I know these security officers are like kids too.
Yes, they're right out of middle school.
Doug Dellinger not getting involved, just pointing. Are we going to have another match where we just got a count out here?
Yep.
Oh,
The Public Enemy are going to be awarded a forfeit win Because of course Flair and Savage cannot continue. That green robe of Flair's evades me. Nobody knows where it is. Nobody's seen it a long, long time. Which means an ex-wife has it. So if you're one of those ex-wives, get it on the market. Come on now.
Okay, so do you know who all these ex-wives are? Do you know them by name?
Well, the first one was Leslie. That's Megan's mom.
So she doesn't have it.
No.
Okay, so there's
second one was Ashley and Reed's mom. That's Beth.
Beth, right? So maybe she has it. Or and who's next?
I believe the next one was Tiffany.
Tiffany, okay.
That's the one that we saw at Flair's retirement match in 08.
Okay.
And after that was Jackie. And she's the one that I think was Mugshot Jones there for a minute.
Okay.
And most recently, there was Wendy, but I don't think that was ever an actual wedding. I think it was just like they wanted to spend a bunch of money and have a party.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't think Wendy has it either, right?
No,
okay.
Wendy has all the ones that he's had remade.
Okay, so here we go. So we now narrowed it down to 3 or 4.
It's not the bookends, it's the 3 in the middle.
3 in the middle. So now we take a GoPro camera or a camera and we take a road trip and we go to each one of them's house, knock on the door, say, hey, we're here. Do you have one of Rick's robes?
What I pitched him on doing years ago, and he didn't love this idea. I want your feedback on this, as we're about to see Diamond Dallas Page and the Barbarian take on Booty Man and Rick Steiner. By the way, look at Savage here coming in hot. Anyway, I think a great idea would be a show just called My 5 Horsewomen. And we put all these women in a house like a reality show, set up cameras all over the house, give them like, let Rick come in and be the host, and he's going to let them do activities, and they'll have competitions and things.
Activities and competitions, huh?
Yeah. And the winner, I don't know, maybe they get a shot at the champ again, or I don't know, they get alimony and a big lump sum.
Maybe the loser would get a shot at the champ again.
It just feels like having those women interact and tell fun or horrifying stories would be a home run.
Yeah, buddy.
That's good content.
That is very interesting content.
All 5. Let's get them lined up. Could be
well,
good.
I think we can find the robe though. If we put some effort. I mean, like we know where the 6-man tag belt is.
Yeah. In your attic.
No, it's not. It is. How many times do we have to go over this?
I don't know. I mean, I guess until you fucking produce it. I mean, do we have to keep reminding you that you promised it to me?
No.
Have you not figured that out yet?
No, but the 6-man belt is in a trophy case at Petco Park in San Diego. That's where it is.
If that was real, someone would have sent us a picture by now.
Okay. Wow.
What? Wow. Oh, never mind. I figured it out. Wow, indeed.
She's just, I bet you here 26 years later, whatever, she still looks great. I bet you anything. Wow.
I'm sure. So this is, I don't know what to say. We went quiet for a reason. If you're watching with us, you'll know why.
Yeah.
But here comes Rick Steiner now.
Yeah.
We're going to go 5 minutes and 5 seconds. But after this, man, we really do have a pretty cool match. We've got Konnan in the match of the night taking on Jushin Thunder Liger.
Wow.
They're going to go 9.5 minutes. Mike Tenay is going to get to announce the match, and Meltzer says he pretty much did more to get new guys over than all the other announcers in the company have done with all the new wrestlers in the last 6 months combined. That Shivani is the shits. Liger hit a plancha when Konnan went after Ono. Good mat work early, followed by all kinds of big moves and near finishes. After Liger came off the top, Konnan got his foot up. Konnan then put him away with a splash mountain, which he called a power drop. Very good match, easily the best on the show. And it wasn't as if it was all Liger's doing. So he's going to give some props to Konnan here. He gave it 3.5 stars. The most critically acclaimed match on the program. The Giant and Sting are going to get 3.25. And we mentioned earlier in the program, even though it was short, the Flair Savage Guerrero Arn match was also 3.25. So some pretty decent stuff, but overall, man, a really forgettable pay-per-view so far, dude.
Yeah, the decent stuff is usurped by the terrible stuff, which is this Battle Bowl concept. There's nothing good about it at all. So there. Well, just makes me think back to my WCW days. What do you think about Diamond Dallas's lime green day glow pants?
I mean, he's trying, right?
Yeah, right.
Whatever he can come up with.
They always tried something new. We got to give him credit for that. It was. I mean, when I think about people who have put an effort in to make their mark in the world, Dallas has to be like kind of a role model, doesn't he?
Oh gosh, he's got to be.
Yeah. I mean, if a kid asks me, give me someone who you respect his work ethic and his determination, his perseverance, and just really wanted to help other people. And I get it. He
Got to
wanted
be
to be
near
able
the
to.
top.
Yes, right. He did this also because he wanted to make a living, as everybody does, I would think. But hey, I listen. Diamond Dallas Page has done more important work in the world than I have.
Oh yeah, me too.
My God, just it's a well-worn story here that we've talked about. When people say, you've done so much for me to make me happy, and your podcast with I don't know how many people say if I'm driving sometime, I got to pull over. I'm laughing so hard at the antics between you and Conrad. And I say, well, that makes me feel good because it makes me feel like what we're doing is worth something other than just two guys yucking it up here. If we made a smile and brighten your day, but it's nothing to what Diamond Dallas Page has done to some people who's changed their lives. That's remarkable. That's kind of where I'd like to be in my life. When I think about helping people, it's probably the most important thing you can do. Be it a doctor or whatever, a trainer, a therapist. I don't know. Getting in deep woods here, or deep grass here, and but hey, it's a Battle Bowl match, right? Oh, they threw him over the top. You know what that should be? That should be a disqualification.
I just I wish I could care about this show, Tony, but this is just not a good show.
No, it's terrible, Conrad.
What? I mean,
and don't we have another Slamboree coming up next week?
Well, that's different, you see.
Okay.
Because I mean, this is I wanted to watch this because I think it's important for us to get the context, because Lord knows between this show and Eric Bischoff's show, we've spent a lot of time talking about how huge the NWO was, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, this is the last show pre-NWO. And I think that's important just to say, hey man, here's where they were. So you can really appreciate how far they've come. Next year, though, we're going to be watching Slamboree 97, which is quite the show. It's from Charlotte, North Carolina. The main event is Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, and Kevin Greene. And they're going to take on the NWO's Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Syxx. And famously, Ric Flair and Roddy Piper did not think Syxx was a main event talent, and they wanted Hulk Hogan in here.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Nash campaigned pretty hard. Hey, guys, I hear you, but do we want the match to not fucking suck? Because if we do, we need Sean Waltman in there. And he was exactly right. Waltman's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting in that 17-minute match. We'll also see a singles match with Reggie White. That's right, the Hall of Fame football player, taking on Steve Mongo McMichael, who still, by the way, needs our help. We've got the Steiner brothers taking on Konnan and Hugh Morris. We've got Ming and Chris Benoit in a death match. We've got Dean Malenko and Jeff Jarrett for the heavyweight title, or the U.S. heavyweight title. Glacier and Mortis in a singles match. Rey Mysterio is going to be taking on Yuji Yasuroka. I screwed that name up. Medusa will take on Luna Vachon. Lord Steven Regal will take on Ultimate Dragon. And then we got 2 dark matches, Yuji Nagata and Pat Tanaka, and then Public Enemy and Harlem Heat. So just in 1 year, the difference of the way this show looks and feels is remarkable. And the major difference, of course, is the NWO.
Yeah. Absolutely it is. But this one is really dragging ass. And not only, I guess you've talked to Eric enough. Why was Hulk Hogan not on this show?
It's one of those deals where they have to pay Hulk a crazy amount of money per pay-per-view appearance. And I think it was something like $250,000. Plus he got this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
And I think they just made the decision that, hey, we can't afford to do that every single time, which I get.
Yeah, I get too. But if you kind of look ahead, why did you sign him for all that much money? I mean, he is your big star. He still is. And right. He still is your big draw because he's Hulk Hogan. Why? I don't know. I'd heard somewhere, maybe I'm wrong, that Hulk has agreed to do just so many pay-per-views a year. And over the maximum, they had to really pony up the dollars.
Correct. He had a certain number of shows that were included, but that's what I was trying to allude to was I think here it was going to be like he got an extra $250,000 or some such.
Right.
You know what, though? I could find it right fast. Our old pal David Bixenspan and your old pal Chris Harrington did all the heavy lifting for us.
Chris Harrington, really? Is it Chris Harrington with the beard or without the beard? You know, they're two different
This
people.
is back when he had a beard.
Okay. Wow.
You recall.
Yeah, I recall. Look at Konnan with a mask on here.
All right. So I'm pulling up his contract here. And as you might imagine, it's a pretty big deal.
Sure it is. So you actually found the contract online.
I'm looking at it right now. It's got his home address and everything.
Wow.
This letter will confirm the principal terms and conditions of the parties, World Championship Wrestling and Terry Bollea to enter into an agreement to renew and extend the October 15th, 1996 letter of agreement. So they're signing it, saying it will start on May 29th, 1998.
Yep.
And run until May 28th, 2002. Saying that he's going to be paid a bonus of $2 million within 14 days just for signing this. He will promote, appear, wrestle, and perform at 6 pay-per-view events per year.
Oh, 6.
One in year from between years 1 and 3. So he's going to get 15%, or I'm sorry, the greater of 15% of 100% of domestic pay-per-view cable sales, or a $675,000 guarantee per event.
Holy shit.
So if he wrestled on the card, or if he appeared on the card, he got $675,000, or he got 15% of the pay-per-view.
Whoa.
Now I want to be clear about that. They're saying of domestic pay-per-view cable sales received by WCW.
Right.
So it's not 15% of the total gross. It's 15% of what WCW received.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that because I know a lot of times we remind people that WCW effectively got 50%. So if you bought this pay-per-view, say for $30, WCW got $15.
Right.
But of that $15, Hulk got 15%.
Yeah.
WCW will also pay Mr. Bollea $1,350,000. That's $1.35 million on July 1st, November 1st, and February 1st as part of an advance of a pay-per-view agreement. And then they break down the buy rates. If he got a 1.5 to a 1.79 buy rate, he gets $250,000 bonus. 1.8 to 1.99, he got $375. 2.0 to 2.49, he got $500,000. 2.5 to 2.99, he got $850,000. If he broke 3, but it was under 3.49, he got $1.25 million. And if they had a 3.5 buy rate, he got $1.75 million as a bonus.
Oh, Jesus.
He also would receive, whether he wrestled or not. Oh, wait, this is great. In consideration for Belaya's participation in any events, WCW shall pay Belaya 25% of the gross arena sales for every Nitro and Thunder in which he appears and wrestles. No event shall he be paid less than $25,000. So just to show up, he was making no less than 25 grand.
Jesus.
The other cool thing is they gave him $100,000 as a consultant fee every year.
In other words, he got $100,000 to say, that doesn't work for me, brother.
He got 50% of the net receipts from all merchandise. So here's what it says. Received by WCW on all merchandise sold by WCW to any consumer incorporating Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, Belaya's name, likeness, or character.
Okay. For a minute, I thought you were saying all merchandise, everybody's, but you just meant his merchandise.
Here's the other thing he gets.
Okay.
A $20,000 retainer to wear NWO t-shirts in public. They also agreed to create a Hulk Hogan, a WCW hotline featuring Hulk Hogan, and his cut would be 100%. Also, too, let's not forget, he had to receive first class air travel,
right?
First class suite hotel accommodations,
yeah,
limousine ground transportation,
okay, and
$175 per diem for food. Now, you would think, since they're paying him all this, he could buy his own fucking sandwiches. That is not the case. WCW also acknowledges Belaya has an existing motion picture and television career, and to the extent reasonably possible, he shall have consultation rights with respect to the timing of WCW's wrestling activities involving Belaya. Therefore, hey, if I'm doing a movie, you can't make me wrestle these matches. And then, of course, he signed right at the bottom, and that was signed on accepted on the 2nd day of June, 1998. It worked out.
Yeah, he made some money. Any word of how much he actually earned in that tenure?
In 1996, he made $1.96 million. In 1997, all that's disclosed, and this can't be accurate, is $477,000.
Oh, okay.
In 1998, he made $3.78 million. In 1999, he made $4.6 million.
Wow.
Then in 2000, he made $2.3 million.
Yeah.
Of course, he actually wound up suing WCW after Bash at the Beach in 2000, and that case was decided on in January of 2005.
What was decided on that case?
I think they did a settlement. I could be wrong. Let me see.
Oh shit.
What does that mean?
I don't believe it. I never did believe it. And we've argued that point here. I don't give a damn what papers you can show me. I don't believe it.
He sued WCW for breach of contract.
Yeah.
Was the gist. I mean, he got a couple $1 million from him, I'm sure.
I'm sure he did. Well, one would think now that.
Why did you say bullshit?
I'm going back to that angle with Vince Russo. That whole thing. We're talking about a pretty damn good match here.
This is the best match on the show. We can't really be critical of it. Go out of your way to see it. Konnan's got his working boots on.
Yeah.
3.5 stars. And after this, we're getting Flair, Arn, Woman, and Liz coming out for an interview.
Oh boy.
And Steve Mongo McMichael's going to come out, and Flair's going to issue the challenge to him and a partner. And Meltzer would say Flair was incredible, but the idea of Kevin Greene being the mystery partner didn't get over well. First, everyone knew, since it's been in the news and they've talked about it on Nitro. Second, during the main event show, Bischoff said that McMichael and Greene would both be on the pay-per-view. McMichael has tremendous presence, and if he can learn to work a little bit, he can be a star in pro wrestling. Although long-term, he needs to be a heel. The segment lost a lot when Greene showed up. So we're going to watch that next. And then one of the worst battle royals you've ever seen. Meltzer says the first 6 minutes were among the worst battle royals I've ever seen. There was no heat, and nobody except Page had any idea what they were doing. Once it came down to Page and Barbarian, the final 3 minutes and 30 seconds was very good, with big moves and near falls going back and forth until Page got the pin with the diamond cutter. Even though the finish was strong, there was no crowd reaction because nobody cares about these guys, even when all the TV time devoted to Page's angles. 1.5 stars. So watching a really good match here, apparently a really good segment right after it with Flair, and then the worst battle royal ever. Should be fun.
Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to wow, great move here. Wow.
Yeah, that Alabama Slam is what I call that now. It wasn't called that back then.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good stuff, buddy. Hey, so we are in the month of May here in 2022. We've got a great year still coming up for our people who follow us on Patreon and on ad-free shows, and for wrestling fans around the world. So some good stuff coming up this year, Conrad. Very excited. What? Watch this. Look at this.
Well, and we haven't even, you know what I've been working on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I got to think, when we're able to announce that, which I reckon will be in the next week or so, folks are going to be pretty excited about that, I think.
I think they are. Oh, I don't know why this reminds me of that, but I do need to say this.
Okay.
And this is something completely off of what we've been talking about, but our best wishes to Bob Caudle.
Yeah. Bob Caudle recently, we found out, was put in the hospital, and he needs us all pulling in his direction right now.
Yep. 92 years old. Our thanks to David Crockett and Dick Bourne for reaching out to you and me.
Absolutely.
I called Bob and talked to him.
How is he?
He sounds fine. He still has that great voice. He still has a great baritone voice. And he said, "How did you get this number?" I said, "Well, the great Dick Bourne gave it to me." And I said, and I just want to let you know that we're thinking about you. I said, I talked to Conrad. He wanted to give you his best. And was that the 1, 2, 3 right there?
Yeah.
I said, we're praying for you. I said, Bob, I love you. You'll always be the man. He said, well, thank you very much. It really, really means a lot that you called. And he's sincere. So didn't talk long because, you just want to reach out to him. You don't want to, if they're
Jam
sick.
him up. Yeah.
Right. So I was glad I talked to him. So, yeah. So let's all think about Bob Caudle, because
He needs
my
it.
life.
By God.
My life, he's the man.
Everybody's life, he's the man.
Yep.
Man, we talked over a great match here. Jushin Liger, bona fide Hall of Famer. So is Konnan. Pretty historic match here. And this is before Konnan. I mean, this is when he is the Mexican heavyweight champion era of his persona here. He's not yet, yo, let me speak on this, K-Dog.
Right.
He is still very much a badass wrestler here. Maybe less of a character, but still, what a match. What a performance. I love watching Konnan back in this era.
I do too, man. And to me, yo, let me speak on this. And that's enough. I love those, man.
Fantastic. How do you beat that?
Enough. Here we go.
Let's track it.
Come along with woman, with Miss Elizabeth, the 13-time WCW heavyweight champion of the world, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. He is accompanied tonight by the enforcer, Arn Anderson. They are synonymous when it comes to action here at World Championship Wrestling. Ladies, my plate is full. I don't mind telling you, I've been with the Hooter Girls for a while. Woman, always a pleasure to see you. Elizabeth, Arn Anderson, Nature Boy, Ric Flair. You have caused so much havoc, I don't even know where to start.
Well, let me, in a humble moment, give you a capsule synopsis of what has happened tonight. The Nut, and I'm talking about Randy Savage himself, has got himself locked up right now downtown and goes in tomorrow for medical evaluation. He's one flew over the cuckoo's nest. He's gone. How about it?
I don't know if this crowd is going to agree with that assessment.
Who in this crowd should have an opinion of what Ric Flair, woman, Miss Elizabeth, or the Enforcer have to say about the game of life anyway? Savage, now that you're locked up downtown, look up in the corner of the jailhouse wall.
Oh, my goodness.
On top of the Radisson Hotel tonight, double security, the Enforcer, the Nature Boy, Miss Elizabeth, and woman, oh woman, won't you marry me now? I'm gonna rock the socks off of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Macho, there's nothing you can do about it.
What kind of a party is that, Rick Flair?
It's going to be a combination pajama lingerie. Me, Gene, you rode my first Rolls Royce. You flew on my first jet tonight, brother. Come to the first real party in Baton Rouge.
Please, Ric Flair, on with the business.
Now, one small other matter of business. There is a huge physical specimen in WCW whose name is Steve McMichaels. Now, McMichaels, last week on Nitro, you went from being a former 4 or 5-time All-Pro defensive tackle, performer on a Super Bowl championship team, to making the damnedest thing I've ever heard in my life. He told the Nature Boy to back off. A football player talking to Ric Flair. Come on, brother. Listen up, McMichaels. Take it for what it's worth. I cannot back up if I can't get your wife out of my back pocket, brother.
Wait a minute. No.
No. She followed me around.
Hold on just a second, Steve McMichael. Now listen, Nature Boy, you've been writing them checks on my person. Well, Mongo can cash a few on you, my friend.
First of all, let me clarify something. Last week, you made the mistake of cracking on me, football boy, but I didn't have the Enforcer with me last week.
He's standing behind
He's
the Enforcer,
watched
too.
over more football players on the way to the restroom than guys you played against. And you know what? Let me tell you what I feel is going on in Austin. Lonely women like great lovers. Woo!
Oh, for crying out loud. That is a slap in the face. Enough is enough.
Hey, Mr. NFL, Mr. Super Bowl. You know what? I am Ric Flair. This is the Enforcer. We're wrestlers. And if you want to get one of your old-time teammates, Richard Dent, Randy White, you want to get Jim McMahon, Brad Mustard, get one of your old-time teammates. Get anybody. Walk down the aisle. Jump on.
Oh, there's a challenge.
Enforcer.
There's a challenge there.
Ooh, and the Nature Boy.
They challenged you right here, Steve McMichael.
What did he say? Did you say anybody I want?
Anybody?
Can you hear me? Anybody you want.
Well, let me tell you something, my friend. It just so happens, I thought this might happen tonight. Let me tell you, I've got my first round draft choice here tonight.
What you got out there, Lawrence Taylor?
I want to bring him out and show him to you right now. Mr. Kevin Greene.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Kevin Greene, former
There you
All-Pro.
go.
He was in the Super Bowl last.
I said retired players.
You never said retired.
You're not winning. Let's go. Right now.
Oh, Kevin Greene of the Carolina Panthers.
What's going on? You want some of me? Yeah, they want to get going.
Kevin Greene. Kevin Greene, you see what happens when
I'm right here, Flair, baby. Come on, let's rock and roll.
Wait a minute now, Steve McMichael. Let's turn around and look at these television cameras. I want to assess this. You
Well, I
were
don't
challenged.
I
He's not going to back
I don't
you.
want them
Don't worry about it.
skulkers jumping on my back.
We want to assess this. Ric Flair challenged you. He says you get a partner, meet Arn Anderson and myself. You apparently have thought this thing over.
You better believe it, baby. You heard me say, I've got a plan. Well, this is part of it right here, darling. We're going to take these boys on anytime, anywhere.
Kevin Greene, you, of course, have followed the career of Steve McMichael, and you've got a tremendous career in progress yourself.
I tell you what, I don't say a lot. I do my talking on the football field across this country, baby. But this is one thing I want you to understand, Flair and Anderson. We don't come to play, baby. We're ready to rock and roll anytime, anywhere. You better put your jock on. And remember one thing. You better bring your mouthpiece, baby, because it's going to be all day affair.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
All
Steve
day.
McMichael, and of course, Kevin Greene, the bombshell tonight. Flair, Anderson, and the girls are in the back.
All day, baby.
Security, come on, let's get a hold of this man. Tony, somebody get this.
What'd you think?
That was drawn out.
Yeah, it was a little long. Flair was doing his thing, but
Yes, he was. He
it was a little
you know,
long.
He was being Ric Flair, but it was a little long, and it's still going on, as you can see, if you're watching with us. I looked up Kevin Greene. You know, Kevin passed away not that long ago.
Way too soon.
Yeah, only 58, died of a heart attack, and he's home in
Crazy,
Destin.
dude.
That is crazy.
But he was in Destin when it happened.
Yeah, that's what it says. At his
Yeah.
home in Destin. Yeah. Yeah, Kevin, boy, we loved Kevin. Everybody loved Kevin backstage. Such a friendly guy, and just really, really loved him. Great NFL career, too. And obviously, Mongo had one as well. Hey, we're treated to another little ice train moment here.
Yeah, here comes
Yeah.
the stupid ass battle royal. I want to read you some news and notes from around WCW in this era.
Okay, love to
This
hear
is
it.
from the same episode of The Observer, or same issue.
Okay.
Dave Finlay won't be back until 1997. They're talking about bringing in Chris Jericho later in the year.
Oh.
If this past week is any indication, expect more interviews and longer matches now that Nitro is going 2 hours. The Road Warriors were on WXRT in Chicago. The host Malenko
Yeah.
talked about how the Ultimate Warrior looks like a midget now, which led the Warriors to talk about WCW's foolproof steroid policy and mentioned that they had used them in the past, but not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Chavito Guerrero, the son of Chavo Guerrero, the nephew of Eddie, got a tryout at the Nitro tapings, but we haven't heard how he did. Kevin Greene and Steve McMichael were training all week at the power plant with Terry Taylor. Reports are that McMichael was going well as far as personality goes, but Greene was a little shy, but the Greene was ahead athletically. Rumors are they're teaching McMichael to do a moonsault as his finisher, and it was apparently just a practical joke started by Disco Inferno. Chad Brock got another tryout, but looked bad.
Mm-hmm.
Renegade was dispatched from the company. It was yet another example of their nearly foolproof policy. Brian Clark denies he's going to WCW to be a part of Bloods Runs Cold. There are also rumors that Hakushi would be a part of the 3-man team, but I'm pretty sure that isn't the case. His WWF contract probably wouldn't expire until late November at the earliest, and he was at Madison Square Garden on May 19th with his wife and new baby and talked about returning to the company. The only name I know for sure of the 3-man Ninja Force is David Ashford Smith, who was last in WCW a few years back as Yoshi Kwan, better known as Chris Champion. Of course, what they're talking about there is eventually going to be Mortis, Wrath, and Glacier.
Right.
So that whole Brian Clark, it definitely won't be him, or he's denying it. Well, of course, it did actually wind up being him. So there you go. You're caught up here in your news and notes.
Is this the Battle Royal?
Yeah, man. And
My
this
God, there's
bullshit-
only like 6 people, right?
those are the winners. It's an 8-man battle royal. And the
God.
winner is the Battle Bowl champion. And this is where DDP is going to get his stupid ass ring.
Good God. One thing that always made a battle royal work, if anything, and not much did, was the how full the ring was of athletes.
Yeah. And it doesn't work when there's only 8 dudes.
No. Wow. Yeah, we're armchair quarterbacking, but wow.
just less than awesome, man. The whole thing.
We really missed the boat on this one.
We are going to be treated to a pretty cool main event, though. The Giant in this era is still fantastic.
Yes.
And we're going to see him and Sting hook it up here, which I'm excited for.
That's good to know.
What?
That we're excited for that.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, anytime you got, and don't get me wrong, Big Show did in 96. I don't think he had yet figured out, okay, I have to wrestle like a big man. And I'm sure he had people who were telling him that, but you would see him in that era, man, like kip up and shit like that. Like,
yeah, do crazy stuff. Yeah, do stuff that a guy his size never had done before.
Right. So it's like you never knew what you were going to see.
Yeah.
And I'd be willing to bet that nobody has gone back and watched this pay-per-view since it happened on purpose until us. We're the only people stupid enough to come do this.
No, we're not stupid. We're trendsetters.
Okay.
We set the bar, man. The wrestling fans checking. Let's see what Conrad and Shivani are watching this week, because that's going to go to the top of the list. That's going to be one of the most watched things on the cock.
The cock.
How's Bruce doing? Okay.
He's okay, I guess. Talked to him Friday, or Thursday.
I had last time I sent him a text was when the unfortunate passing of his brother, and he responded, "Thank you very much," but we don't have that much contact anymore. And Bruce is one of my buddies, man. I mean, look, we're joined to the hip for many
forever
reasons.
and ever, amen.
That's right. Not only because of '89 when I worked with him, but because I was, part of this podcast. Unfortunately, Jeff Jarrett's hooked at the hip too. And you know what I found out?
You don't hate Jeff as much as you thought.
A couple of Jeff's proteges are
Sanjay Dutt.
Yes.
And I don't know who you're working with, so I'm just leaving it open-ended.
Okay.
I thought you had a story. It's my bad.
No. Sanjay's one of my favorite people of all time.
Great guy.
Yes.
And he listens to our show now too.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Oh, Sanjay, if you're out there, kiss my ass.
There you go.
Okay. So just, that's my little, that's how I do. But also I understand one of his proteges is Pat Buck.
No, I did not know that.
I didn't know that either, but I was told that, and maybe the source I was told that from.
I don't believe that to be true.
Okay.
Because Pat Buck's a New York guy.
Right. Did he spend time in TNA though? Pat Buck? I haven't really talked to Pat about his history, so I don't know. And I've only been working with Pat for like a month now, but I just thought maybe he was in TNA as well. But
no, I don't think he ever spent any time with Jeff at all. He probably listens to the podcast. By the way, Pat Buck, nice guy.
Oh yeah.
He used to do a podcast with Ryback way back when.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I've only known Pat for like a month, and I really, really enjoy working with him. He's really a professional. We got some good people backstage, man.
Well, that's good, man.
Yeah, we know we do. We have good people.
I'm so glad to hear it.
Yeah. And that's the important thing. What I learned from my WCW days.
Yeah.
What I learned was, man, weed out the bad ones.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Because there are a lot of bad people out there. There was a nut shot just now.
Where are you at on nut shots? You for them?
Nope. I'm against them because there have been too many of them. Back in the WCW days, it seemed like we were on every week, and Diamond Dallas Page. Wait a minute, is this how he's going to win it? Pin all three of them?
He's trying to.
I thought it was over the top rope, last man standing. What are the rules for this freaking thing, Conrad?
We just want it over, Tony. We just fucking want it.
Yeah, just want it over. It doesn't matter.
Just get it over.
Yeah.
Get it over. Oh my gosh. Big old school bump right there.
Mm.
The old referee push spot that made famous by Tommy Young and Richard Morgan.
Mm.
That's going to be my new thing. I'm going to start calling him Richard Morgan.
Richard Morgan.
You for that?
Yeah, why not? I'm for it. Why
I
not?
called him Pop Pop for a while.
We sure did.
I got over.
You
don't think?
Yeah, I think so. Dick Bourne just checked in with Bob Cottle, said Bob is not much change. He's frustrated that he's in the hospital, which is, I can understand that, but he's just hanging in there. So good. 1, 2, saw the foot on the ropes. So you really think people thought that the Barbarian was going to get a title shot here?
No, of course not. Everybody knows it's over at this point. They just want the diamond cutter and let's move on. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's what everybody's waiting for.
Yeah, everybody's probably waiting for Sting and the Giant.
The finish is strong, though, he says. So let's, you know what? Let's track it.
Pick up Barbarian. Maybe a pile driver. Yep. Yes,
I'll be honest. I didn't think he was hitting that tombstone right there. I thought they were going to flip it and find a way to.
And he kicked out from it. So there you go. People were kicking out of the tombstone pile driver long before they did it in 2022 to piss people off.
I didn't know that pissed people off.
Oh, it pisses some people off.
But those people are malcontents, aren't they?
Yeah. I like that word, malcontent. I'm going to go right online and I'm going to use it on Twitter. Hello, you malcontents. How are you today?
Right.
Another nut shot.
See?
There you go. Another nut shot.
Jam bag special.
Our buddy Taz, I don't know if you saw, he had a little surgery.
Oh, what's going on with him?
In his knee, and he hadn't even had it online that showed his knee with ice on it. Like, wow. I think he had surgery. I think he had surgery on his. I think. Listen, all those guys who wrestled years ago and are still around. Obviously, the joints and wear down.
He said first stem cell and PRP treatment on this banged up knee. I'm feeling good about how the end result will be. So it's not a surgery.
Okay. So it was an injection. Okay.
I was thinking,
it was surgery.
I got to hit him up. I didn't know he had surgery.
Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking I was a Tony Schiavone level bad friend.
So I saw him right when we were in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay. After he's had the stem cell, whatever.
You got a big pop out there, I'm sure.
Oh, no. Here's what he did. When I saw him in the backstage area, you know what he said to me?
What?
He said, thanks for asking about me, Schiavone. I'm okay. That's how he agreed to me. I said, oh, sorry, Taz. Are you doing okay? How's the knee? There's your finish. Taz is the gift that keeps on giving. Do you know what I've been watching? I've been watching here on the Peacock. I've been going back and watching episodes of The Office.
Oh, man. It's tremendous. By the way, they're going to give him, look at this pyro treatment.
Wow.
They're making it feel like a big deal, but it ain't.
Nope.
I think we're going to see the camera. Jackie's got a tight shot maybe on the ring. Let's track it.
To you, brother. He's got the ring from Nick Patrick.
Tony, he can't tell the difference between,
Unbelievable.
Don't worry about that ring. I'm going to see if I can get him to give me the ring so I can show it here.
But as things remain right now, Diamond Dallas.
Well, that was just kind of fucking farting Church Jones right there.
That really was a farting Church Jones. Anyway,
I
didn't
mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, what I was saying is you go back to the characters that were in The Office, one of the really great quirky TV shows of all time. Wouldn't Taz have been a good character in The Office? Just ragging on everybody.
Yeah, he'd have been fun.
He would have been great. It'd have been a great cast to put him in there. There's Doug handing the ring. And there you saw it. See, be there by pinfall. His foot was on the floor. His foot was on the floor and he still won it. How did that happen?
So next up, it's the World Championship match. The Giant and Sting for the world title. 10 minutes and 41 seconds.
Thank God.
Lex Luger's going to be around. Mouth of the South's going to be around. The Meltzer didn't hate it. He gave it 3 1/4 stars.
Mm-hmm. Look at this. Listen to this.
Gotta track this.
472-pound WCW heavyweight champion of the world, the Giant. I'm going to talk to him in a moment. Tonight, he's going to be defending here at Slamboree against Sting. But before we get to that, Jimmy Hart, you are really nervous. You're going to be handcuffed outside of the ring to the total package, Lex Luger.
Please, Lex, listen to me. It's not too late. We don't have to be handcuffed together, baby.
Oh, you've dribbled all over the floor. You made a fool of yourself. Now, Giant, let's talk about Sting. Here's a man that has been to the top of the mountain before on 3 occasions, on 5 occasions.
Sting may have gone to the top of the mountain, but the problem is he's not on top of the mountain now because the Giant's on top of the mountain. That means that I'm king of the hill. Sting, you can be hungry. You can try to take what's mine, but it's not going to happen. You've been a thorn in my side, a rat under my bed, a cockroach in my apple pie. Tonight, I exterminate everybody. You, Lex Luger, maybe even you if you get in my way.
Wait a minute. Earlier on, you made a comment about Diamond Dallas Page. You said, bring on Diamond Dallas Page, the Lord of the Ring. Keep in mind, first things first, you've got to get by this challenger tonight. And a lot of folks are putting their money on Sting, quite candidly.
They put their money on Sting. They're guaranteed they're going to lose. The only way to bet is to bet big and bet on the Giant. Dallas Page, think about what just happened tonight. Think about what's going to happen to you.
All right, that sets the scene for the big one here tonight as part of Slamboree. The Giant, the WCW heavyweight champion, is going to be facing Sting. Tony, let's get back to you.
All right, G, WCW World Heavyweight Title match on the line. A lot of things need to be talked about, discussed here. The Giant is a man who's laid a path of bodies all the way to the World Heavyweight Title. The latest one, the total package Lex Luger. We all thought that Luger maybe was trying to duck the Giant. Maybe that he was not up enough. But here he is. And after what happened at Nitro, I don't think there's any doubt Luger's the man of his word. And he's coming out with his close friend and one of the most charismatic, one of the most exciting.
So there you go. We've sort of laid the groundwork for the story we're about to see.
Luger looks a little small here, doesn't he?
No, I don't think so. He's wearing a t-shirt or a tank top. Maybe
I thought he looked a little bit. Anyway, I think the Giant coined a phrase: "Cockroach in my apple pie."
Yeah, that was a little weird.
That was. Well, that popped me, as we say. But man, what a presence he had, didn't he?
Oh, big time.
Just towered over everybody. Just look at this as he's coming out here.
I mean, I just think seeing him in this era, it's special, dude.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it earlier and he made fun of me, but I mean it. Here in 96, dude, there was not a lot of folks like this guy.
I don't remember making fun of you when it comes to Paul White.
You go, oh yeah, we're really excited about it.
Who's one of my close friends.
Isn't it true he used to leave massive dumps in your room?
Yes.
Has he done that in AEW since y'all been there?
No, he's grown.
Well, that's a shame.
He's matured.
Why though?
So you think it's great to take a shit in the announcer's room and not flush the toilet? Is that what you're saying?
I'm telling you this, the next time I'm there, I'm doing it. And I'm just going to say it was Big Show. Or I'll do Manny's, I'm sorry, Andrade's, how you know? When he hit you with the how you know, it tickled.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I do want to say this too. And I know Tony Schiavone likes everybody. But I really like working with Andrade too. I really do. He's pretty cool.
Who don't you like working with?
You at times.
Shit on somebody in AEW that you don't like.
No, I like everybody.
No, just pick one person. Just shit on one person. Be critical of any one human being.
Any one human being in AEW. I can't. I can't. I don't know anybody that I go, yeah, I don't want to be around that guy. I don't know any of them that I say that to. Now, give me some time, okay? I've only been at it 3 years, not even 3 years. Give me some time and a couple more years. If I'm still alive, I'll probably say, I'd rather not see that person again. Taz, sorry, that just flew out of my mouth. Chris Harrington without a beard.
You don't like Chris?
Without a beard, I don't.
I got that.
He came around the other day and just like, hey, how you doing? It scared me. I went, whoa, who the fuck are you? But listen, we could not do our jobs in AEW without Chris Harrington. And that's a shoot.
Waka, waka, waka. Just want you to say anything critical at all. Just say anything at all.
No, I'm not. Because legitimately, as a shoot, there's nobody I can be critical of. And as a shoot number two, if I throw out one name, it'll be a freaking headline at a cockamamie bogus wrestling website.
Cockamamie, you say?
Cockamamie.
Mm-hmm. All right. Make sure I can spell that right.
Look at that young face. Wow. I did not know until he started working with AEW that Paul White was from South Carolina.
Really?
Did not know that. Isn't that amazing?
You don't know much of shit, do you?
You're really going out of your way to try to stir up shit here on this show.
Well, I'm just saying it's a well-known fact.
Common knowledge, right?
You might even say, yeah.
You might even say. Look at how he towers over people, man.
And this is just, a different era for him, man. He's still young. He's still new. He's still figuring it out, but god dang.
Who, and I should know this. I don't. Sorry. Who discovered him?
I think it's a combination of folks. But I believe that, and I could be wrong, but I think as the story goes, they saw him out in the wild, if you will, and he was recruited.
Okay. Wasn't the independent circuit like they have today?
I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think as the story goes, he was doing a bunch of stuff like trying to be a bounty hunter, being a bouncer, that sort of stuff.
Okay. You know what I'll do? I will,
I think Danny Bonaducci ran he had a morning show.
Right.
And I guess during a karaoke company somehow put Bonaducci in touch with Big Show, and Bonaducci said, hey man, you got to meet my friend Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
And so as the story goes, they met at some event. I guess it was a basketball thing.
Right.
And Hogan was like, we got to get this going.
Right.
Supposedly he was supposed to train with Larry Sharp.
Okay.
And famously, he got an audition tape together and sent it to Pat Patterson.
Oh.
And Pat Patterson apparently never watched the tape. And when you guys debuted Big Show, Kyoto was like, that's the guy I sent you the tape on. And Vince apparently heard it and looked at Pat like, what the fuck?
Well,
but I think as the story goes, Pat didn't watch it because he thought the tape was of the wrestler that we know as Kurgan. Like, I've seen that guy. I don't want to watch that.
Okay.
But it wasn't Kurgan. It was Paul White.
Well, what a career he had.
So there was an opportunity there.
Yeah.
Imagine if he would have shown up in the WWF in 95 instead of with you guys.
Yeah. He still made the most of it though, because he still is. And I never worked with him as the Big Show, but to me, he's always Big Show. I don't know.
It turned out just fine.
Yeah. I call him Big Show a lot now too. What a great name that was.
Speaking of big motherfuckers, as the rumor and innuendo goes tonight, you guys are going to have big casts and you can't teach that. So tune in to AEW tonight and be sure to check him out.
Yeah. That should be pretty exciting. since he was the first man I saw wrestle when I got back into it.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
You're going to be sure to go tell him how much you hate his work and all that?
No, of course not. You don't get it. I see you're trying to call it what you've been trying to do. It's what you always try to do on these shows.
What does that mean?
Let me finish.
Okay.
On these shows, you try to make me look like a fool. You start out by saying, "Oh boy, we're having a great time, voice of your childhood, blah, blah, blah." And then you try to make me look like a fool. And then you try to get me in trouble with the company. Then you try to get me in trouble with individual wrestlers. And then you just basically, when I won't take the bait, you just basically spend 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 2 minutes shitting on me. So I know the common thread we have here. And I'm happy. I'm fine with it. I'm fine.
That formula of entertainment works for you.
Yes, I'm fine with it.
So you encourage me to just shit away. Just keep shitting.
Doesn't matter. You're going to anyway, whether my encouragement works or not. It's going to go away. Look at the big guy with his leg scissors here. He's pulling the ropes. Turn around, Randy Anderson.
I'm not going to shit on you if you don't want me to shit on you. I thought you liked when I shit on you. If you don't want me to shit on you,
no, I'm just telling you that I know what's going on here. So I'm roll with it, man. I'm roll. Go ahead and shit. It's part of the entertainment factor that we got here.
Just thinking, this took a little over 5 years for you to put it together.
Just now coming to me.
You know, Conrad, if I didn't know better, I would think part of this show is dedicated to just shitting upon me.
Yeah. And the other part is dedicated to getting me in trouble.
You try to see if you can get me in trouble or shit on me or embarrass me or humiliate me, make fun of me and my family.
You have no idea, Conrad, how many edits I've made on this show after we've done it that you probably don't even know about. I go, let me find something else.
Really?
Yeah.
What all do you edit out? I'm going to start listening to our own show. Why would I do that? Are you trying to, now I know you're fucking with me. You don't edit anything. That requires extra effort. And everybody knows you're going to Shivani it. You want me to sit over here and listen to this shit.
When it comes to this show, I do not Shivani it. Believe you me. I think one of the reasons is because I really like editing audio. I really enjoy it. It's part of my job I love. So,
well, wait till I get you on OnlyFans.
Hey,
heard
from Whitney Wright lately?
I haven't, but I'm hoping you'll hook up with her when y'all are out in Vegas.
Look at this. Look at
he teased like he was going to choke slam me through the damn table.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't, but I remember, you're going to Vegas.
Does she live in Vegas?
No, but I'm just saying she's been out there a time or two.
She was out there that one time we had StarCast.
Yeah. But you remember that one time when we did some planning? We went to the Cauliflower Alley thing and
right.
Had that mellow yellow zero.
Don't remember that, but they no longer make mellow yellow zero. So I was thinking that here's why I asked about Whitney. She is, of all the people who have gotten the telephone call from Tony by sponsoring the Kickstarter.
Did you just talk about yourself in third person?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the name of it. That was the name of it. Call with Tony.
Got it.
Anyone she's the only one that I'm supposed to call. I've tried to call. I've texted. I've left messages. Nothing.
Why don't you leave her a voicemail?
I did.
Well, then you've done your job.
Yeah, but still, I want to talk.
Here's what you should do.
Is there something wrong with this camera we're looking through right now? You notice?
Yeah, it's like a fisheye lens. Look at the left and the right.
Right. It's Jackie's camera.
You should just say, hey, let's put all this sexual tension behind us.
No.
I'm a married man. You're doing your thing.
No.
Oh, so you don't want the sexual tension behind you?
No, I don't. Look, she's a young lady. She's a kid. No, I just try to, when we promise something, I try to deliver it.
But
I learned from the Jim Crockett promotion days that if you don't come up with what you had booked, then you're going to fuck up your business. Meanwhile, the fans are starting to get into this here.
Yeah, they are.
Things are a little.
How about Jimmy on the top rope here, handcuffed to Lex Luger? That's funny stuff, man.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You know what?
He pushed Jimmy hard down.
How about that? A headbutt to the ding dong.
Yeah. They've got the wrist tape for that for those handcuffs, but buddy, that's still got to hurt pulling him off the top rope with the handcuffs.
Yeah, couldn't feel good.
Oh man.
So Sting had Jimmy Hart move, so he winds up just eating it in the turnbuckle. He's going for a big Stinger splash.
Sting! He got him! 1, 2, 3. Oh man, right on top of
Man, and he took a legitimate ref bump there. He jumped right up, but he fell back down and sold it. So Sting's going back up again? Is this real?
choke slam for a long period of time by the Giant. Now Sting going up top once again. He got him. Come on, ref. No Randy Anderson this time. Well, he didn't have him anyway. The Giant's moving again. Look, he's up. Luger's up. He got him. Turn it over. Can he turn him? Can he turn that man? Yes. Yes. He's turned him. Yes. He has turned the Giant. Hey. Oh. He hit Sting in the head. Luger did. I'm going to tell you what. The megaphone hit Sting right between the eyes. Now, Dusty, don't try to start any trouble out here. I know what you're.
So the question, of course, is did Liger intentionally make sure that Sting got hit in the head? Right. Or was it totally an accident? But either way, choke slam for his troubles.
2, 3. Wow. Unbelievable.
I got to tell you, Tony, this has not been the most fun pay-per-view we've ever watched together.
No, but and again, you think you would try to leave the fans after this pay-per-view sucked with something good to cheer about, and they didn't get that. They got a heel win, and they got they got a 1, 2, 3. But the best thing to do was that Sting. Everyone would have been, going livid at the end, cheering and everything, and we would have walked away saying, "Hey, great pay-per-view." But can't put lipstick on the pig, right?
No, you cannot. But thankfully, Tony, we've reached the moment where I get to say to you, it's about that time.
No, wait a minute, Conrad. We still got 3 minutes left in the show, and we ought to stick with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we still got it's like.
I thought for sure this proved there was a merciful God, and we were done, and we were out of here.
I'm at 2:43:41.
This just will not end.
No, and the show goes to 2:46:09. So
let's see what we missed. What we would have missed.
We've got about 2 minutes and 10 seconds worth of shit we got to talk about here. And I wonder if they're just going to do a replay or if they're just going to go to the announcers on camera and have us fill for 2 minutes. Who knows? And maybe there's going to be 2 minutes of credits, but there you go. They're checking on Sting, and there's your announce crew.
In what was a wild match, Dean Malenko retains the Cruiserweight Championship, and Konnan retains the U.S. Heavyweight Championship. The unexpected happened with Dallas Page winning the Lords of the Ring. And I'm going to tell you what, Bobby Heenan, if you think that for 1 minute that Jimmy Hart is strong enough to keep Lex Luger from hitting Sting in the top of the head, you're crazy on a loon bug. I didn't say that. I'm saying Luger pulled the things out of Jimmy Hart's hand, and it looked to me like it hit him in the head. His hands could have been sweaty or something. Want to remind you, our fans, to join us on TNT tomorrow night, hour and a half at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, WCW Monday Nitro. For me, James, for The Dream, and for Bobby the Brain Heenan, I'm Tony Schiavone. Have a good night, everybody.
You're right, Tony. I made a huge mistake by making sure we didn't watch that.
Keith Mitchell, Craig Leather sucks. Rick Fancher, Jeff Bornstein, who still works for AEW. Rob Wright sucks. Neil Pruitt's a great guy. Joe Sparacino is too. Okay, so there you go. Great show. I
wouldn't go so far as to say great show.
It's great to get it over with.
It's great to get it over with.
Yeah. Next week we watch Slamboree of 98. Is that correct?
97, and it'll be great. We're going 1 year, so we'll get to see sort of before and after NWO.
Right.
See what Tony thinks about it. All this and much more next week right here on What Happened When.
And for Conrad Thompson, Tony Schiavone, it looks like, oh my goodness, coming to the ring is Conrad Thompson. He's got a whole list, a whole book full of shit that he's going to talk about Tony Schiavone. I got it, Conrad. I know. You're trying to get me in trouble. You're trying to talk shit about me. You're trying to get me fired, but it ain't going to work. Because why? Because I love everybody. There's nobody that I don't like. Well, Taz. But besides that, I love everybody. And I'm desperately out of time. The tape machines are rolling. Don't forget, we'll see you next week on What Happened When. We come to you Wednesdays on Cumulus, but Mondays we come to you on
Patreon. Patreon.com/WHW Monday. And of course, adfreeshows.com.